Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're live!
So good to hear
it. Dude, how long has it been since we've been saying that shit? Oh,
fucking crazy, God. Dude. It's been a while, man. It's lost in space, man. It's great, man. Shit. Look at you. Well, you are so energetic. I love Nick. Nick is all fired up. He's like, I love it. Fucking A,
long
dude.
time coming, man.
Yo,
man.
I was running around doing shit because, like I said, I was telling you guys in the chat earlier before we started the show, my mic last night, my fucking Yeti took a shit. So I fucking went to Target looking for a new mic and shit. Couldn't find one there, but while I was there, I had to get some other shit. So I ended up going to the Starbucks in there, and what I did was I got a fucking hot cocoa with 2 shots of espresso. That shit was balling. And then I came home and I drank a key lime fucking bang.
Nice.
Dude, hey, that'll do it. That'll break your brain.
Hell yeah, man.
Never stop drinking bang, man. Said nobody ever.
No, like Anna fucks some things up, man. She'll drink the shit out of them, and RJ likes them too. I haven't
done an energy drink since I worked nights, man. Since I closed at the bar, I think since then I haven't had one. They make my teeth hurt. Like literally, I'm thinking about the last one I had would have been just a Red Bull, and thinking about it makes my teeth hurt. Isn't that weird?
Oh, damn sugar.
Oh man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That don't sound like Red Bull. That sounds like cocaine. Making your teeth hurt.
It's one of the things I didn't do. One of them. I drink coffee though, and man, before I always drink coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Since we had the baby though, I'll have a cup in the afternoon, man. Just try to make it till 5 o'clock when I can start drinking beer, and then usually like from 3 to 5 time is rough, man.
Now, have you done a podcast since you've had Billy?
We did a couple episodes of the old show once she kind of got into a rhythm. But then I think it was 2 or 3 episodes maybe.
Oh, word.
And then that was it. And
here
I am. I've done some hangouts, and it's just been so nice to talk to other adults.
Yeah.
I can imagine, dude. It's like, you know what's funny? Babies are cool, but they're a lot of work, man. They're cool as shit, but they're a lot of work. I remember.
Yeah, man.
I mean, as soon as our kids were grown enough, it was like, now granted, every age has its whole set of problems, right? But it was like,
for sure.
I loved when they my favorite time was when they could start doing shit for themselves a little bit. It was like, hi, yeah,
man. That's
cereal. Go get that cereal. You're fine.
Yeah, that's funny now, man. I'm like, hey, man, what you want? Go do it. Go do what you want.
Shit.
Do your thing. Shout out to the chat, man. Thank you, all you guys, for being here. Love to see
real
it.
men drink.
Listen,
Dude, I was gonna say, man, it's good to see everybody in the chat except for EE. Other than that, it's a great group of people in there, man.
You've got Wolfenstein's in there. What's up, Jose? Too, and Lowry.
I can't say nothing bad about him.
No, none of those guys. We get. I'm not a real man to eat because I don't drink that shit, and
it's good for you.
I don't care. You know what it is? I just like the taste of it, man. I think they taste like garbage. Anna keeps trying to tell me that there's a couple of them. The bangs, she was at the bang ones.
Yeah,
they got some good flavors, but I can't bring myself to try this shit because the ones I've had in the past were so goddamn bad. I'm like, I drink that, man. It's horrific.
There was like this monster one that was like it was like Monster Juice.
Yeah,
it had like a lemonade punches. One. That's what I was drinking. I was drinking that. Yeah. I need them. I remember I had to take this. There was like this final like test that we had to take, like in addition to getting our degree to get like our teaching certificate or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be in there." It's like all on a computer, and like you had to sit in the room with everybody taking the test at the same time. And they were like, "This is gonna take you, like 2.5 to 3 hours. Like that's the average time." I drank 2 of those Monster juices. I'm small, you know what I mean? So it's like this shit just runs through me. And I was done with this test in 22 minutes. And I fucking aced it, dude. And then I went out that night and blacked out, dude. Dude, my brother
Number 16 in the Women's Royal Rumble is Rhea Ripley.
Oof.
And
Well, you know what?
Carmella going in a couple ones before that.
I you know what's funny about her? I like her, man.
I'm not that interested in the Rumble.
Well, I like the women's Royal Rumble just because I'm curious at who they're going to surprise us with. That's my only thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Melina was in it, already. I don't know if she's been eliminated or not, but she's not. She's still around. Oh, she got eliminated. Okay, Anna said she got eliminated. So,
yeah.
But it's funny how rumor is Paige is supposed to show up tonight. And I like.
Do you have any attachment to anybody post like '96 wrestling, Sam?
Man, so there's like a few like yeah, like I was like in it during the Attitude Era and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like all the ones, like I like Kurt Angle, and I like and there's like some newer ones, like there's some people that are kind of fresh out of like college wrestling that are like in the whatever like the farm WWE thing is.
Yeah.
There's NXT.
There's a rumor tonight that Gable Stevenson could show up.
Dude, yeah, he just wrestled in Michigan last night. Dude, that would be cool. I'd love to see it, man.
No, explain to me who is this?
So he's Russ. He's in Minnesota. He's a heavyweight, and he's like, I mean, he's 21, and he's a national champ. He would have been a national champ the COVID year, but they canceled the tournament that year, and he just won an Olympic gold medal this summer.
Holy shit!
In heavyweight, which is like, I mean, there's a lot of guys in the NCAA that are like competing at the senior level now, but like 10 years ago, nobody did that, and like. It's just like to have a Olympic gold medalist. Like he just wrestled a D1 NCAA match last night. You know what I mean? Like that's unheard of. This dude's like a once in a generation talent. Just fun to watch, and he's going to be in the WWE making a shit ton of money, and good for him, man. It's that NIL stuff, that name, image, and likeness stuff. That's why he's able to do all this.
So he's like an actual legit wrestler who's going to bring that. I always love guys like that. That's why I like Kurt Angle so much back in the day.
Yeah, dude, I remember there's this match that I'll pull up and watch on YouTube. It's Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, because I think Chris Benoit had like, and like they were just like out there like just like freestyle wrestling.
Oh much, it's cool, man.
I'll pull that match up and watch it every once in a while, man. Like it's just
watching
cool
them just totally like.
And from what I hear, like Vince like loves those guys. Like they're just workers, man.
Well, it is too. They're the guys that have that like they've been training. Wrestler, we all know wrestlers their cardiovascular is sick. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went off the wrestling team in high school, dude. I made it one day and I fucking quit because I was like, I told myself I'll do nothing I ever did in football, nothing ever compared to what that motherfucker had been doing.
Oh, wrestling had me puking.
Seriously, I felt like I was gonna die, guys.
Yeah, and like when they're good at that age, like they've been like doing that same shit since they were 5. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm always into those guys.
Really good.
I always follow that.
And like, there's stories about like people wrestling Brock backstage, and like 2 of the guys that like hold up to him all the time were Angle and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
Shelton Benjamin's another guy who has that wrestling background.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of who else. Bobby Lashley. I think he wrestled D2 somewhere. I think Brock's the only one that really did it all because he never wrestled like at like the international like Olympic level, but he did. He won a D1 title.
I know he did in college,
and he was successful.
For sure.
Yeah, and he was successful in the UFC too. Like the dude was a heavyweight champ. It wasn't like the toughest of eras. Yeah. But I think if you're going to say you're the UFC heavyweight champ, like that's something, you know?
Yeah. He beat a legend to become the champ.
Yeah. He beat Randy Couture. And that was when Randy Couture like came in and saved the division. Cause it was like Tim Sylvia was a champ at that time, Nick, if you remember. And he was just like the most unexciting person.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh God. Kate. Honestly, Kate, you have no idea. It really is a bitch. It really is a bitch, Kate. When I am trying to eat something because I'm not really used to it yet, so I always dip it in. It's like a paintbrush, dude. Ivory is
Russ,
back.
Ivory is
no
the
kidding.
And dude, she's in the right to censor fucking gimmick.
She's wearing the old school where she dresses like a
with
nun.
the fucked up like bolo tie.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
look at her. Oh,
she's got the mic and she's yelling at Rhea Ripley.
You know what? Right to Censor was a great freaking group, dude. They were a great faction, man. remember their music? They didn't have music. It just was this loud, just siren. You know what, Jason? Shut up.
And there goes
a terrible word to use.
He's awful, man.
Oh god, that's so awesome, dude.
How you guys been, man? It's been a minute,
dude. Like
it's been a minute. I'm doing good, dude. I'm work is killing me, but what else is new? It's okay. Whatever.
Like, it just feels so good to be like back with you two talking about shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Dude, yeah, and I'm excited for the stuff we got to talk about tonight, man. I'm excited. It just to shoot the shit. It's great. It's great. Love to see it. Love to be here.
It's funny when you do this for like every week, right? For like a year, like more like year or 2 years, and all of a sudden you stop doing it. You like at first it's cool because it's a break, right? You're like, all right, great.
Yep.
But after you go about 3-4 weeks, the itch starts to come a little bit.
Yeah, like, dude. I feel like when you get used to doing it, like you get used to certain things that like I don't know, you think about during the week and you're like, I need to get this out. And
absolutely.
Somewhere, so I'm like talking to people at work I don't normally talk to. I'm like, let me think about Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you can say all this stuff for.
You fucking like you become that crazy person with the soapbox, you know?
Yeah.
Man, but I think it's like I think it kind of, and I don't know if anyone else at podcasts has experienced it, but it makes me like just think more deeply about things. I think that I normally, whatever I'm always like, how would I view this? But if I was of this perspective, and then how would I argue against this? And you know what I mean? So I think it's useful. What's up, JB? Yeah, I love the chat. Man. Love to see the chat, man. Oh, I missed you. Thank you.
And I figured this shit out so that at least we could do this. That was one of the things coming back that we talked about was we want to be very minimalistic at first. Like we just want to go ahead and get our feet wet, you know, and do things very easily, very minimalistic, and then we'll add shit later as we go. Because the most important part is just like the three of us talking and having that audience that we can interact with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to get comfortable again.
I love it.
Just get kind of back to that natural, you know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time. You know, I'm going to say something obnoxious and stupid. So, just
that's okay. Anna gave me an email for us.
Oh, Jesus Christ! She did it for real.
Yes.
Oh my God! You made an email. She said, "Yes, I did." It's not going to your personal email. Oh, you're tired of it. Oh, she's tired of people hitting her up about me. So.
He's complaining about you.
The views of Russ the Muss do not reflect the views of MPSPTheater. Please direct all hate mail and comments to ihaterussthemus@gmail.com.
Yes. Love to see it. Love it.
We will be checking this periodically and getting the best ones and reading them on the air.
Yeah, if you got a review for the show, please leave it there. I'll find it and read it. And I'll
a review of the show.
I'll find something in my room to send you. I'll send you a framed picture of Eric von Wolfenstein.
So Brie Bella and Mickey James have come in that I've noticed so far.
Oh, so Mickey James has made it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Go, Mickey. Did she wear the belt? Did she wear the title? She didn't? Oh, that sucks, dude.
I think
that would be cool if she wore the belt.
Was that Charlotte she just eliminated?
I don't know. Did she eliminate Charlotte? No, Anna's like,
I couldn't tell. It was so blonde.
If Charlotte's still there, Anna's gonna be hating.
Oh, anyways.
Anna hates Charlotte. Anyway.
Yo, but like I was thinking like a warm up talk. We could do a warm-up topic. Like, how has your collecting changed since we've all been together?
Oh wow. Oh man, that's I can tell you now, guys. I've been I've been moving away from Transformers a lot. I say that, but I just bought a Transformer the other day, right? But I haven't been buying anywhere near what I used to buy. It's like I've been kind of like cherry picking what I wanted from the Kingdom, and stuff. And
some of that stuff's really good.
They did a Pipes figure, and I like Pipes. I like them in the comic books. I thought Pipes was cool, so I like what they did. I think like they didn't just do a repaint of Huffer; they kind of did him different enough that he looks pretty cool. So I enjoyed Oh, Jeremy B, you motherfucker. Anyway, but I definitely have been moving away from that, and I'm getting into more like other stuff. GI Joe, hardcore, classified. That's what I've focused on. And
they've done a lot of good things with that line in the last year. At least with making them easier to get, man, which was what everybody was wanting. And I think now that they kind of sorted that out, as far as I know. I mean, I got out, but
the only problem now is that the distribution is weird, and I don't even know if it's Hasbro's fault. I can't blame them for this. I just think distribution all around is weird.
I don't know. Like,
but then again, I don't. You could be right. I don't know.
If you walk into Walmart,
like
I don't have a problem finding Mattel products.
True.
Man, so
I can find Masterverse and Origins anywhere.
Dude, McFarlane shit is going to be there. My thing is with GI Joes, and I think I noticed this most with Hasbro stuff is like my Target. There's 7 Lady J's on the pegs, and they're going to be there until the end of time, as far as I'm concerned, because they do the counts and they say, okay, we're stocked on this item, and they just don't order more. I think. But somehow McFarlane stays current with everything, and and they have to have the way that Lego does, like somebody coming to each store and like curating that shit, because or people are just buying it, and there's somehow, I don't know, McFarlane is the best any toy line of staying current and keeping a stock.
Absolutely.
I almost always
the newest waves that are like just dropping. You'll see them at Target.
Yep. Always see the newest shit. Always.
With Legends and Black Series, GameStop is good about that. And I think that just because they order so much less probably than a Target or a Walmart, well, maybe. But yeah, I don't know how McFarlane does it. I'd love to like get an inside of like how they manage to do that, because it's just like crazy to me. I know NECA has like people that curate their stuff, so it's like that makes sense.
Targets,
Yeah, and in my Target, there are like, there's a McFarlane stuff that's by the NECA section, which has like the Witcher toys, the whatever else they're doing. But then there's also some DC stuff over there. But then in the toy aisle, there's also DC stuff, like but like just other DC like
it's
waves
a little
or whatever.
crazy.
I don't know how they do it, but good on them, man. It's like, if that's a line that if you are all in, and I'm not. I think they make a really good toy now, but I cherry pick. But that's something I never pre-order, and I would just hunt that shit down because it's so easy and fun to hunt it.
My own wife hates me. God,
but
how could you create something? How could you create something like that? Nobody hates Russ the Muss. Everyone loves Russ the Muss, right?
Brian in the chat says it feels to me that Todd puts out a lot of waves more than Hasbro.
Yeah, definitely. Like they just don't stop.
That's true.
But then Todd will do a 3-figure wave with no Build-A-Figure. So they have like a little bit of a different model of how they get their stuff out than Hasbro's.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he's all about just fucking doing whatever characters he can do, man. He don't care. Yeah. Like that dude. Yeah. They pump that shit out. Like I'll put it this way: if they haven't done a character that you are wanting, give it time. He's gonna get to it because I feel like
man. So I was thinking about that the other day, Russ, where it's like I'm kind of like, yeah, I know they get flack for doing a lot of Batmans, and I'm like,
yeah,
well,
they do, but
look how many
versions.
Spider-Man that Marvel Legends puts out in a year, right? I'm sure it's comparable
Agreed.
or at least kind of that disproportion would be similar because he sells. Yeah. Batman's gonna sell, but then it's like, but then they also haven't put out like a Two-Face yet. They've done Joker, they've done they did the all the Dark Knights though, which is cool.
Like they've done for the 3 Jokers line, have only the first 2 come out or have all 3?
I'm not sure.
Because that was the only figure I've been looking from Toddy Mac was the Nikki Bella's just came in too. But from Toddy Mac, that's the only figure I've been looking for that I can't find. I can't even remember what it's called because I have the comedian and the criminal, and I can't remember.
Like the clown.
The clown, yeah.
He might have been an exclusive somewhere because I know like they were making a hubbub that like 2 of them were just standard releases, and then one of them was an exclusive. I forget where he was an exclusive to. Maybe Walmart, Nick.
Yeah.
I think Walmart, but
if it's Walmart, I'm fucked because our Walmarts are trash for figures.
Yeah, so are ours.
And it's because I think he's doing. I got that Clayface pre-ordered, which is like just going to be perfect for like my Batman villains. I think he's doing a Man Bat too, which I need that and a Catwoman, and I'm done basically.
That's got to be some kind of deluxe figure or something, because that Man Bat's got
so it'll be at the $40 price point, I think, and just big and detailed and painted well and articulated, and I'm like, yes, give it to me. You know, like
that's so cool. But if they don't take you back to the animated series, I don't know what does. God damn.
Yeah,
Jeez,
for sure, man. So I've been watching that a lot. With the kids, they like it, and then I've been watching like
What have you been watching? I missed that.
Batman the animated series.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's like we'll watch cut scenes from like.
Yo, hold on one second. Happy birthday to Ricky. I'm sorry again.
Oh yeah,
and
Ricky
the biggest Batman the animated series fan I know.
Hell yeah,
love you, Ricky. Have a great birthday, man.
Good dude. Happy birthday, big dog. Yeah, we've been watching that, and then like we'll just watch like the Arkham Origins or whatever, like the video game, like the cutscenes. Dude, those games were so good because like with those in the animated series, like within like 4 or 5 episodes, you get like 3 really good villain stories, man. It's like
you do.
I love it. I just love all the rogues, and they all get their time to shine and everything.
Yeah.
For those like the animated Adventures Continue figures, dude, that Azrael, I'm gonna pick that up real soon.
That Azrael looks so tough.
Which one
now they're doing there's 2 versions of it, right? There's 2 versions, right? So
for the animated series,
no, in the figure line.
Nick, I think I know what you're talking about, Nick. Hold on.
They did a couple of figures that were like Batman the animated series continued or some shit.
Right.
There's a Deathstroke. There's a Deathstroke that I know of. I think a Supergirl that they did.
Yeah.
And
wait, McFarlane, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
No.
I got this one. This was McFarlane.
That is I've heard. I haven't gotten it yet either, and people told me that that's one of the best action figures.
Dude, this was like one of my top like 5 figures of the year this year.
So I don't know.
The year that came out.
Yeah. That's so cool, dude.
And it's like shit like that they do. They'll just knock something like that out of the park. Good on them.
Yeah, it's so cool, dude.
But yeah, Nick, I think there's like DC collectibles. They're like owned by McFarlane now or something, like at least on the action figure side.
There's something crazy going on because he's picking up the rights for like the collector series.
Yeah, because they were pimping that stuff, like the new Deceased figures were like on all Marvel or on McFarlane like social media.
And I'll share the screen so you can see real quick. Shit, I just gotta find it. Was it Toy Arc?
But like,
here we go. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That looks cool, man.
Yeah, I'm picking that up.
I love that style.
That
dude.
shit was at Books A Million.
Okay.
But yeah,
and that is one thing I miss about like the old DC Direct line is like they would do long Halloween, do figures from that, you know, and just like make them look just like they came out the page. Yeah, so JB said owned by Todd, but completely separate from Multiverse. I wish that they would just like take over, because those DC like direct and collectibles figures are just, they look great, painted well, made terribly. They're awful.
Yeah, that's been the fucking that's been the story with that for a long time. Like the collector line has suffered for a long time now.
I had that Greg Capullo Mr. Freeze and
Lita's in the Rumble now. The Greg Capullo Mr. Freeze is like I had problems with mine too, Sam.
So I got mine. I took it apart. I was like, I'm gonna take it apart and just like do like there's like some mods you can do to like change the height on figures, right? I've done it a million times. I've done it to Legends. I've done it to Todd McFarlane stuff. What you name it. I've been doing this like for years now, and I just did like a basic just disassemble his toy. Literally every single joint broke on it. Like it was so just goo. Like, and it's like it was like the plastic was made of like wax or something.
I don't know, dude. Every now and then
I tried to I've had it out and. All
right, the old Alex Ross figures. I've had 2 of those now with the joints that are the clear plastic.
Why? Like, this is the weakest, most brittle type of plastic. Why would you make like what should be the strongest part of the toy? Like,
it's
so I had a Solomon Grundy where the left arm broke, and a Black Adam from the Justice line where the fucking right knee broke.
Yeah, well, you remember that DC Icons Dark Side that was like 10 or something? Everybody had like the arms just break, like the joints would just shear off, man. And
okay, so I bought the 18-inch one.
That's what I'm talking about.
The giant,
the big
giant.
It came with Grail.
No, this is even bigger.
Okay, I'm thinking because that was the one. The one that came with Grail is that DC Icons line, which was a bad line. Like they just, I don't know what they did.
I think this might have been a multiverse release, but it's like 18 inches tall.
Yeah, I think that was a multi or DCUC. I guess what it was at the time.
Yeah,
the Mattel one.
Nikki ASH just eliminated Molly Holly.
That
hurts.
Molly Holly was on there. God, Mighty Molly.
But like Russ earlier was talking about Transformers, man, and I'm almost done. Like
there's got to be most people now that have been doing this shit for this long, right?
Yeah, I'm not a completionist, so I need like 2 figures that are considered masterpiece, and then the rest is just me backpicking a little bit of MMC's reformatted line for the IDW stuff, and I'm done with Transformers.
Yeah,
that's gotta be nice, man.
I've just gotten bored with them, to be honest with you.
and that's so crazy because when you think about it, like when we all met, like Transformers was the thing that drew us together, and now it's just
I was buying Transformers, man.
Yeah,
way back then, like.
You know what I think it is, Nick? So many other new lines have come out.
Ronda Rousey just showed up.
Ronda Rousey just showed up? Get the fuck
Ronda
out
Rousey
of here.
just showed up. Yep.
Oh, shit. Did not expect that. That's a surprise. Whoa. That's a huge surprise.
Oh, she is rusty as fuck. She just gave a shitty Superman punch to somebody.
Is she standing? Is she doing standing bitch face? Resting bitch face, whatever. Standing bitch face. Yeah. Is she standing on the mat bitch face? I'm kidding. Sorry.
Dude, she's got some ring rust. Definitely.
I'm sure. Well, she's wrestling almost 2 years, right? I mean, damn, it's been a while, right? Shit.
Yeah.
I think what it is with Transformers is that it's like we're in this area right now where third party is. To me, third party is kind of taking an evolve. They're evolving a bit in third party stuff.
Have you bought any of the new Masterpiece besides like Sunstreaker?
No, I don't touch the car with a 10-foot pole, man.
Me either. Everything.
Nope.
Like I'm waiting on the Fans Toys Jazz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're making that.
See, I have.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's got to be everybody, man. It's like, I don't know, is that Kang Toys that's making that Predaking?
Yeah, the big ass one
that has like 27 robots in it. I feel like
it's
that had me interested until they showed that, and then I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It just seemed odd to me, like just an odd choice. Where I feel like that's real quick. Like that's kind of where a lot of third-party companies are, where they're just like grasping at straws. Like, what the fuck can we do?
Yeah,
you know.
I feel like they're going through a design kind of evolution right now. I feel like third party is trying to almost design their own, do their own design elements on characters that may it's not exactly G1, it's not exactly IDW. It's it seems like they're trying to put their own spin on things, and I think it's kind of cool. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people they want shit. They want it to look a certain way, you know. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, well, and it's tough because like something like that, like you got to buy it knowing that it's going to be a one-off. So either somebody has to like love Predaking, and they're kind of like paint themselves into a corner. Because they're like, we have to find, like, we can sell this to people who love Predaking, or I don't know, like maybe they're into Zoids. I don't know.
Yeah, because they kind of look like they have a weird fucking. Don't get me wrong, I'm all about outside the box when it comes to Transformers because I get bored with the same old bullshit. But that is a wild design idea, design choices that they've taken. But hey, it's cool, you know.
He in the chat says the idea that there are not enough characters left and the well is running dry is not true. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there isn't like a whole shitload of characters that they could release still, that are relevant and people would want. I'm saying I'm done.
I think Nick, you speak for like most people, or not most people, like most collectors that are like probably got into it at G1 to the point where they're old enough now to be spending money on this stuff. That's probably what they're into. And there's only so much to buy, especially like if you're a little bit younger and like maybe you grew up with Beast Wars, like your options are more limited. It's not like there were at one point like 4 or 5 companies doing a Springer. There's not 4 or 5 companies doing a Dinobot. Like Takara did one and then that was it. Like, so I don't know. It's gotta be tough.
I like this point by Jason, and then there's another one by EE. Jason says, I agree with Russ. I believe since a lot of the TFs have been made, I believe designers are starting to do their artist rendition of characters. Like, that's stylized shit, because Kang Toys does not look anything like G1.
No, but it has new characters like added to it, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they added that 8, as the skirt,
Yeah.
But here's some of the ones that EE mentioned that still haven't had proper G1 MP representations. Are all those combiners, man.
Yeah, I know, and that's true. I feel like the combiners, they third party seemed like they just focused on certain combiners. Yeah. A few companies will go at it at the same time. You had the Devastator Wars, and then you had the Devastator Wars Part 2. And then we had all of a sudden
Motor Master.
Nobody had touched.
Dude, I feel like a company that would be
a whole bunch at the same time. I
feel like one that would be primed to just pump out a combiner would be somebody like DX9, because I feel like that Menasor they did, like people like that, right?
Now is DX9 gone away now, or
I don't know,
or is that the other one?
The Unique Toys would be that was DX9 did Menasor, and I feel like people like that, so it's like, I don't know, man, ride that wave. They're not doing anything else.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a bigger, like their Minnesota, the figure, it was a bigger scale, right? Than they did.
It was like a little bit bigger.
Larry says Unique Toys is still around.
Are they? Okay. And then like
I thought like one of them was it X Trans that said, are they gone?
No, they're still there. They got that Ultra Magnus coming out. I think KFC is I don't think KFC puts out anything anymore. Even though
I thought that one of the Menosaur people was like, one of the people that put out a Menosaur was like, okay, this is it, I'm out.
Oh shit, I don't know.
I don't know. I
don't fucking remember. God damn it.
XTB definitely has some other stuff going down the pipeline.
Yeah, they got a lot. I mean, they just put out that Perceptor.
But I don't know, man. I just feel like, and then so that's what I mean. There were certain combiners focused on, but there's a shit ton of them that haven't been done yet. Like E just mentioned.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, what are you doing, man?
I'd love an MP scaled Computron to display with a Grimlock.
How cool would that be? That'd be badass. You know, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Computron, but I feel like
since
there's a lot
Zeta
has, you know?
Yeah, like, and it's like since Zeta figured out combiners, which like they did just do parts forming, then it's pretty easy, you know. Like it's kind of strange.
They made it okay, right? I mean, between them and
for sure, because I know how people spoke about that before Constructor came out. You know what I mean?
Okay, so the final 5 look to be Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Ronda, Charlotte. Oh, Rhea Ripley just got eliminated by Charlotte. Charlotte eliminated what's her face before this? Somebody. Oh, Bianca Belair.
So Paige didn't show up, huh? Damn. Okay.
Not that I saw. So your final 4 for the women is Bianca Belair, Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, and Ronda.
Oh shit.
Go ahead, boy. Sam. I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
I don't remember what I was saying, but I think I made my point. Yeah, I think I made my point. This is dumb.
All right,
about parts forming. Like I feel like
well, I think
until they saw
you were talking about how Zeta had figured out combiners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I feel like people felt strongly like against parts form, maybe were vocal about it, but then like once that Constructor came out, I think people were like, okay, like this is it. This is the way to do it.
I don't know. To me, as long as it looks good, it gives man. At this
dude,
point,
for sure, man.
Bitching about
sure.
the
there's no magic. Because like, wasn't it MMC that put out that Bruticus, and like the couple reviews I saw were like it was just like a floppy. The hips were weak, couldn't stand up. Like, come on, man.
I was looking forward to that shit, that all-in-one gimmick.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were in
Transformation, aka Generation Toys.
Oh yeah, don't you have that one?
Yeah, I do. And it's
Nick, aren't you looking for it, dude? Russ, just give it to Nick, dude. It would make his year.
I'll tell you why it's not combined. It's not combined because the combined mode is a fucking.
You don't even like it, dude. Just give it to Nick. I'll pay for shipping.
No, they all sit on my shelf separate and beautiful.
Charlotte just eliminated Bianca and Rhea.
Nick, Russ, I'm gonna have Anna take one of those Stunticons off a week for the next 5 weeks and see if you even notice.
Oh, I'll notice.
So your final 2 in the Women's Royal Rumble are Charlotte and Ronda.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't let Charlotte win. God, but then when Ronda wins,
100%
that means Ronda's coming to WrestleMania?
So E says you don't think G1 MP collectors would buy a Predaking, Computron, and an Abominus, and it wouldn't sell better than the stylized wannabe Predaking? I agree with what E says.
Me too. 100% it would.
I think, but what I do think is that those are going to be your least selling combiners after you get past Devastator, Menosaur.
So, and I'll say something.
Superion and Defensor.
Is X-Transbots doing a Defensor? Because you got Menosaur twice. You got the XTB one. You got the DX9 one, which are both good. They fit with Constructor. You got Constructor. You got that Zeta Superion's fucking perfect as far as I'm concerned. Like, the Bruticus is pretty good too. Like, so those are all spoken for, you know? It's like you really just need a good Defensor.
I would.
All right.
A good Defensor and a good Computron might be the 2 that would get me into collecting combiners.
So Jason said Unique Toys is really focusing on the movie style figures. I didn't know that's what they were focusing. I know they've done some, but I didn't know they were. I forgot about that too.
They do like some. They do some voodoo stuff with their like transformations or whatever. Man.
So Ronda won.
Oh shit!
She is your
Ronda
female
won.
Royal Rumble winner.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess that means Ronda's going to WrestleMania? Is she back to wrestle again?
I guess.
Or is this a short-term thing?
Could be.
Yeah, she flipped the blonde bitch right over the top rope.
There you go. And there's Anna. She flipped that blonde bitch over the top rope. Anna hates Charlotte, dude. She's not a fan at all.
I hate Charlotte too.
Nick said he hates Charlotte too. So there you go.
I just hate watching Ric Flair shoot too. I can't stand his old ass either.
You know, my problem is with Charlotte. I don't mind her at all. My problem, she's a great villain. My problem is that she looks so much like her dad. It's spooky. Like she looks like a female. Like if Ric Flair was taller and a female, and he had tits, and he had their faces are so weird. It's like it's odd. It's like I see young Ric Flair on her.
The thing is like she's fucking done so much work to herself that like she's like one of those people that like is a plastic surgery like mistake.
You think she had plastic surgery to look more like her dad? Creepy. I'm just saying it's freakish how much like her dad she looks like in the face. If you look at Ric Flair when he was young, especially, and you look at her like right now, oh my God, it's bizarre. She has so much of his facial structure that is, and I know some people say, well, he is her father. I get that, but it's creepy, dude. This one dude did I know he's fucking around, and he took Brock Lesnar's face and put it on a girl's face. It was funny. Oh, and that's how Charlotte looks like to me. Like Ric Flair's face on her. It's weird, man. Oh God, that's funny.
So Lowry says this. The only current close to MP size Predaking is the MMC KO size from Jin Bao, and that can be a messy fucking nightmare. However, people have been getting 3D printers more and more, making the older style MP combiners to size. But like
with like adapting
that Jin Bao Predaking, man, was a crapshoot. Like some people got one, it was good, they didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them, it would just split as soon as you put it together.
Yeah, so like a lot of those KOs, it's like there are several factories making the same thing at the same time.
Right.
So it's like when you go on an eBay listing and like there's no way to know like which one you're getting, you know, unless like you got somebody that got a good one and they can like send you the link that they got theirs from, you know. So it's like just such a mess.
Okay, so E says, so you're saying an MP Predaking wouldn't be popular? No, I'm saying that MP Predaking is the most popular combiner left. I'm saying that Devastator, Menasor, Defensor, and Bruticus are more popular.
Yeah, no, they are, because they were like, I mean, they were the first one. They were the first combiner, the first like. You know, there's a reason why Devastator was the, you know, is the OG of the combiners. Yeah. You know, he's the one that everyone loves. I mean, he's, you know, and I get it. I totally.
He was the first one that caught on.
He was the first one that caught on. Yeah, and then you got then you had you know the aerial bots and the Stuntigons, you know, come in for the, and of course they caught on because it was perfect. The Decepticons, they fly, right? All of a sudden, they got some cars and shit to fuck around, right? And then the Autobots, they're ground people. Next thing, they got jets. It worked out perfect, right? It's a great. But
see, he was talking to Jason, not me. See that's the downside.
This son of a gun, man.
Goddamn chat. God damn.
Sorry, E. We always think when somebody comments in the chat that they're talking to us.
We have a discussion in the chat. Sorry. No one pays attention.
He's in our living room, man. He's talking to us.
You know, E, I know. I mean, it's our ego, brother. It's all about us. Sorry. It's just anyway, I feel like I get it. Like I understand.
Just let us have tonight, baby.
Yeah. Come on, no. Let us have, please, just one night. Next week you can start bashing us mercilessly. It's great, but but then and then we had those like season 3 combiners, that showed up. They were great and they were awesome, but I don't think they ever caught on the way like those first 5 did. Like Bruticus, Defensor, Superion, Menasor, and Devastator. Those were like the 5 that everyone really. But think about we had 2 seasons of cartoons with them. So with a lot of these other combiners, you had 1 season, and so a lot of episodes they weren't even in them. So it's like okay, you don't see them that often. I just feel like it was. Of course, you're going to have it go that way. I don't know if you live in Japan, you probably got more exposure to them, but.
Yeah, in Japan, you got the Decepticon generals, man. So it was like all the combiners, and they had capes.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. And
although
I do, they took it in a crazy direction, but at least they took it somewhere. We didn't get 3 episodes until no more for you.
Yeah.
Fucking Rebirth. Suck my dick, Hasbro. You suck my you fuckers.
Yeah, so
but
he in the chat made up a word. He said traumated. Look, he corrected himself.
Traumated.
Traumated. Yeah. He says it all the time.
He's traumated. Oh, it's okay. I'm a terrible speller too. Anyway,
I've been emaciated a lot my damn self.
It's rough, dude.
So I guess they got Dewdrop about to go up against Big Time Bex.
Oh wow! So they're doing the female Rumble and then the women's. They're doing
Raw.
Two women's
matches
back to back.
Dude, they got Dewdrop doing the bonsai drop. Did you see that?
She's bad. Look, you know what? She's fucking amazing, dude. I'm telling you, I love her. She was, Piper Niven was a beast. She's a beast, and I don't like that Dewdrop shit, but whatever. I do like that she got the leather jacket back on. At least they got her wearing her leather jacket. That's cool, At least she looks tough again. It's a little stupid, but WWE comes up with the worst gimmicks for wrestling.
This is another good point that E brings up in the chat. The fact is, TWW is outdated by this point and needs an update.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
I think they know better now, and they can make the shoulder joints better. Wasn't that the big complaint?
I don't know. I'm like the one I had. I felt like it was just too heavy, compared to the Superion. So I feel like the Superion just used like a little bit of a lighter plastic. So if I could make the TWW and fix anything, I'd like add in those lat fillers without having to get like another kit, and then I would just make the plastic lighter because it was just so heavy.
Is Toy World capable of doing such a thing? Because
don't need them to be. They're Zeta.
Yeah, basically that's what I mean. Wasn't Zeta Toys formed from Toy World's toy designers? They're like, fuck you.
Yeah,
split,
they just
and all that crap. So now, I don't even know what Zeta's going by now. They got a new name now, right? So
Moon Studios, I think.
Moon Studios.
They're making that train.
Well, they pissed Hasbro off with the Unicron thing, and Hasbro's like, "You're on our sites, buddy."
And then again, he's right. Like that. I hate Toy World, but that Toy World constructor is still good.
So good. It's so good, man. It's fantastic.
The only complaint I ever heard from people. Some people said that there was one of the legs would get stuck. If you
getting it on, it was like you had to slide it into like a groove or something, and like a lot of people had to sand it down, which
because people said it was too much of a bitch, it would get stuck or it would split something,
And that's the thing, because if you sand it down, I think it's fine, and it sucks because it's like if someone tells me that, I'm like, yeah, okay, easy fix. But if you have someone that's not like never done that before, never like modified anything like that, and they're like, wait, I gotta do what? And that's like perfectly understandable. I gotta do what to this toy I paid $100 and whatever for? Like,
yeah, I agree. No one wants to do
being
that.
Pissed about that.
Burgess, I agree with you. By the way, I think there's always room for improvement or just a different design choice. that Toy World Debbie is amazing, but like it doesn't. If you're really into like an incredibly G1 accurate or toy or cartoon accurate version of that character, I mean, I don't know if there's enough of a market for it, but it probably is. I'm sure.
It would, and that's
All
the thing. Like, kind of what he said.
Hey,
It's like,
just real quick,
ahead,
Sam.
go ahead.
What's up?
You guys carry on for yourselves for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, and then when I get back, how about we do some updates and then get into the stuff that we had in the agenda. So
sounds good, man.
Yeah, wrap up toy talk, and then in a few seconds we'll do some updates and fucking get into some cool shit.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. So yeah, what I was thinking, like what he said, kind of got me thinking. It's like there might be something that, and I look at that Toy World Debbie, and I'm like, to me, that thing's perfect. Like, again, the set that I had was great. You know, like my only gripe was too heavy, whatever. They fixed that though with their next combiner, but it's like time does that. I feel like the figures where it's like you might have something that seems perfect until like the next version of it comes out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't see that. You definitely see it with Transformers, but then I feel like with Marvel Legends you see that because they just kind of like it's this slow kind of like it just like incremental improvement to where like they'll fix it, address this thing and do this thing and do this thing. And then it's like I was like they had that Iron Man from the 90s that they put out a few months ago, and it's pinless and it's painted beautifully and it comes with extra hands and effect parts. I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, dude, this is great. Like this is something like that I would have paid $60 for. Yeah, from SH Figure Arts, you know.
In love with the pinless joints, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine about that, and it's like Hasbro, you know, like with each of their different lines, it's like they do something great with them. Like I feel like G.I. Joe, you get a shit ton of accessories. They're doing the pinless stuff now.
Yeah, they are.
With Black Series, you get like the face print, which they also do on the G.I. Joe stuff. You get everything's pinless pretty much now on Black Series. And then like on Legends, like they're starting to do the pinless stuff. You get some figures might come with extra hands. You might get an effect part here and there. And then it's like with the Power Rangers, I feel like that's the most bang for your buck line of theirs because you always get like a unmasked head sculpt, extra hands, accessories, effect parts, and it's like if they could just put all of this together, you know. And
well, what is I feel like that's the problem. It's the inconsistency, right? So you got like, they'll do this figure wonderful, and then the next release by them is it might not be total shit, but it's just it's a downgrade.
Yeah, and I think with Legends, it's like, man, it's just because they put so much out. But that's all I was going to say about that. It's like
that's true. You're probably right about that too. It's tougher when you are mass producing, you know, and it's a lot of that
quality control.
And
it's like every company suffers from that. Like SH Figure Arts, like they've moved some of their stuff to Vietnam, and like the figures that are coming that are made there riddled with issues, man. Like a lot of their more recent Dragon Ball Z stuff.
You can see in a third party too, though. There have been plenty of third party companies that have done a great figure, and then their next release is just weak compared to what they've just done. You know, it's very tough to stay when you reach that level. To stay at that level, you got to work hard at it. Like even Fans Toys. No, anyway. Sorry, I had to do it. They have their issues with staying at that level. There's, you know, they were up there, and I feel like they've done some stuff that's definitely knocked them down a couple shots to me. I mean, it's you know, but I don't hate on them for it because I know how hard it is. It's consistency to be at that up here is
dude,
tough.
and it's like the one company for me that right now is staying there is, and I know Eric B would agree with this, is Mayfex right now with their comic book stuff. That's also coming with a kind of steady price increase.
That's something that maybe we could do. I have that Mayfex set, the Dark Knight Returns with Carrie Kelly. Maybe something for like the channel is just like, opening that up, because I've never touched a Mafex before.
Dude, yeah, hey, put a bookmark on that, and we'll figure something out, because I got everything, and we can talk about it, and I think had their older shit, which was awful, but and there's a
drastically from what
there's a story to be told there, man. There's a story to be told there. But
I think that and I think that brings us to a good point about talking about some updates about some things that we have in the pipeline, and some future plans, and then we'll talk about some stuff that we wanted to talk about. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is the new night for MPSPTheater. Fridays is a very difficult night. We would have less of an audience, and also it's just Saturdays work better for us, for the three of us, So we didn't come here to mess with anybody. We didn't, not go back on Fridays for any other reason than, in all honesty, the audience size and, Saturdays just worked better for us.
Yeah, it's a better day. I mean, that's what it goes down to.
Yeah. You guys might have noticed there's an MPSP Twitch channel in the link that I sent out over Facebook. I'm probably going to be doing some gaming stuff on there. And if Russ or Sam wants to use it, they're more than welcome also. The other link that you see in that link is the TNN. If you go there, if you're watching from that link, that is a new venture that we're working on with the Nerds of Spoken guys, and we don't really have a lot of news about it yet. So
be on the lookout.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
Lookout.
I don't want to get too far into it, but that's something that that's going to be interesting. And
I'll DM you, EE.
Yeah, man.
This potentially.
OnlyFans has not gone public yet.
Yeah, I just have potential for some good stuff.
We have not gotten the rights to the Hubble telescope, so Russ can do his news.
Hey, look. I'm trying. Look,
oh man,
I've magnified it. I mean, I burnt myself with the sun the other night. I mean, it was rough. I mean, I'm trying to get it. Tweezers. It's every fucking gimmick I can think of. I promise you, there will be a Rustamus. One of these days, he will get it up enough to be nude. I got to give something to look at.
Remember that email from earlier?
You will see.
The views of Russ the Must do not reflect the views of the MPSPTheater. Please direct all hate mail and comments to ihaterustthemust@gmail.com.
Oh, we're gonna have to just got to like record you saying that and just have it ready to go in a loop.
Oh, dude. See, like we were talking about, like I was talking about at the beginning of the show, like I want to do like things stripped down at first and add things a lot more. Oh, just you wait. I bought something called a Stream Deck.
Oh shit.
Oh, nice.
Wait.
Nick's gonna be hitting like stupid sound effects and shit.
Oh yes.
Don't spoil it.
Glory. I know, right?
Just you wait.
Yo, OnlyFans link. Dude, come on, E. What's wrong with you, man? Pervert.
Some people are just enamored with the Nick.
If they,
enamored with the Brammer.
I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. If I can make money on OnlyFans, I'd do that shit.
I would too.
It's just people would pay me to put my clothes on.
Nobody wants to see this.
Yeah, Justin L posted something like that where he was like $20.
Lowry, you posted a link and it was deleted. It was automatically deleted. I didn't do anything, and I'm the only one on the thing. So it would have been a YouTube, Twitch, or wherever you're watching thing that did it. I think with YouTube, you can't post links in chats.
Oh, they won't let you post a link in the chat, really?
Yeah. So
Fuck you.
that's what
Really,
that
YouTube?
probably was.
Man.
Well, so yeah, because
I'm
it's
gonna
like a
be sorry.
piracy thing.
Yeah.
It's a piracy thing because like
And
it'll
I-
be like
okay.
it'll be
There's
like a
also a
UFC
settings.
event.
There's a
Yeah,
settings thing too.
Because like it'll be like a
Okay.
UFC event and somebody will be doing like live commentary on YouTube,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
they'll be like, look at the chat. Here's a link, and you just
Yeah.
click on it and watch it for free. So that's like a piracy thing.
Yeah. All
I
right.
got you.
Which one of these subjects do you guys want to go through first?
Let's get into this Rogan and this
Neil
Neil
Young?
Young thing. Yeah.
Okay. So
All right.
basically, what happened was Joe Rogan's been doing podcasts about, and he's had guests on that have talked about COVID. He's been accused of spreading misinformation and platforming people that spread nonsense. Neil Young, when he was young, was struck with the polio virus, and before vaccination, and it's affected him his entire life. So he has a very personal feel about vaccinations. Spotify is where Joe Rogan's podcast is currently platformed, and since Spotify,
And that's an exclusive deal too.
yes, yes, you would still whatever. I'm not paying any more attention to the chat. I'm getting confused.
Sorry, get in the zone, man. Get in the zone.
But anyways, Spotify is where Rogan's podcast is currently, and since they are also carry music, Neil Young, feeling that strongly, decided to deplatform his
Himself.
music from Spotify, and
Yeah.
if they didn't want to deplatform Rogan, basically
He gave
Neil
him
Young
like an
gave
ultimatum.
he gave him an ultimatum. Either you can have Neil Young or you can have Joe Rogan. You can't have both. And Neil Young is no longer on Spotify.
They chose Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Man, it's I'll just say broadly and first and foremost, like I like Joe Rogan. I've liked him since since he's been with the UFC, which is like going back to the like late 90s, right?
Yeah.
I've liked him. I think what he does on his podcast is he brings people in from all different perspectives. Like he had within the same week, within 2 weeks, he had Jordan Peterson on. And then the week before he had Josh Zepps on, who is like, he was like defending like the COVID policies in Australia, which are about as draconian as you can get. So it's not like he's pandering to one side.
Right.
And on that one with Josh Zepps, like what Joe Rogan did was he made a claim. Josh Zepps said, no, that's not true. Joe Rogan said, let's stop and look this up. They did. And Joe Rogan said, oh shit, I was wrong. And then later tweeted and was like, if I'm going to get schooled, and Josh Zepps, by the way, is just like a journalist, author type person.
Mm-hmm.
And he tweeted and was like, if I'm going to get schooled by anyone, I'd want it to be Josh Zepps. So it's like, I don't know.
I think it's interesting. Like me and you are having a conversation on Messenger about some things that I'm currently reading. Like I'm reading Nice Racism by what's that lady's name?
Robin DiAngelo,
which is basically a follow-up to White Privilege, I think.
Or White Fragility.
White Fragility, that's right. Because I like to read views of people that I disagree with.
Yeah, and I think Rogan is like, that's where you're going to get everything. Like you're going to get people that you probably disagree with, and you're going to get people that you disagree with.
Right.
And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And basically what I was going to say is that, Rogan's been pushed so far by people. Like they've been calling to get him off of Spotify since he's been on there.
Yeah, like people like were resigning and like trying to do walkouts and stuff.
Yeah, since before the first episode even aired on their platform. So it's crazy. Go ahead, Russ.
It's like, yeah.
No, I was gonna say is I feel like whenever you have someone that's controversial, I guess. I don't know. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I don't listen to him. Right? I've heard of some of the stories though. I've heard him being accused of misinformation, all this stuff. And look, maybe he has an opinion on something and it differs from other people. But I do know whenever somebody has an audience and that person is saying stuff that certain groups don't want them saying, this is when you're going to get that kind of stuff happening. Oh, yeah. If you don't get them off, we're going to boycott you and all that stuff, and I just think people need to chill out.
I think Nick, kind of going back to those two books you mentioned, it kind of takes it kind of makes like the people that do, I think, want to get Joe Rogan off of whatever or get him censored in some way. It's like they don't let people, or they're not comfortable with letting people make their own decisions and choices. Like, it's like I don't think Joe Rogan's really, and it's like, is he changing people's minds? I don't know. Maybe yeah, and maybe no. And like sometimes I think you should be open to have your mind changed by some things. But it's like if you're listening to Joe Rogan to decide whether or not what medical decisions you should make, I think you're wrong for that. But then if you want to get him deplatformed because people are listening to him for medical advice, I also think you're wrong for that. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, I don't know, you gotta,
I don't think that he's peddling medical advice.
No, hell no. Hell no.
I think that he's basically, giving people that have different views a platform and discussing and exposing those views
in real time. Yeah. And like it's always a good discussion. It's not like he's shouting down and I think a big thing for him, he's in the room with them.
Yeah.
It's not some freaking CNN, Fox News hit where they're on a satellite thing and he's just barking at the person. He seems curious, which I think there's a lack of that. Yes. Just kind of generally in especially in media, which with a big audience, which he has a bigger audience than any cable news.
It is the largest podcast on earth.
Yeah.
Look, I would tell you that I think that he at one point may have pissed people off because of some stuff. I mean, he was peddling like using a medication that is.
Are you talking about ivermectin?
Yes.
Even that, like, there's like,
but I don't even know.
Yeah, there's like
I didn't hear it,
like he gets dogged for that, and people are like, "Oh, he's taking this animal medication," but there's like a human version of it,
right?
You know what I mean? So, but that like you won't hear about that because I feel like there's this narrative that like if you think ivermectin's a viable treatment for COVID, then you're this type of person, which isn't necessarily the case. Like I think,
well, I don't know, people.
He says that's the problem. When you have an audience that big, you have to be responsible in what you say.
I think a year ago I would have agreed with that, but I think now, I don't know. I mean, why?
I mean, I would say this: when you have an audience that big, maybe you are right. Maybe he does have a sense of responsibility. But the problem is he's not under the same rules as he's not media. He's not a doctor. He's not.
And here's the thing: if Spotify kicks Joe Rogan off, if Spotify kicks him off, he can get on Podbean and have the exact same audience, or the next host.
Sure, whatever the next platform is, because he has that audience.
Yeah, media doesn't work like that anymore, where you're beholden to some platform to get exposure. And I think I don't know, does he want that responsibility? No. Should he have it? I also think no. I think he's not telling people to go blow up their fucking post office because they're delivering COVID tests.
Dude.
Yeah, but it's like if he was, I think if you're that's funny.
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like I don't know. I think kind of what Eric B's speaking to is like, I've heard that. I've also heard the opposite. but it's tough because I think like, and just real quick, I think there's this is one point is that people think like there's consensus among doctors, and I think the same kind of principle gets applied to historians, that there's this
point I wanted to make.
Okay, yeah, and that's not the case. It's not the case, and I'm not trying to speak to one side or the other, but I'm saying like you might find a doctor that peddles one treatment and one that peddles another, and they have data to back it up, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's going to be confirmation bias in medicine, just like there is in media, because if you don't like what one doctor tells you, you're going to go around and find a doctor that likes, that tells you what you like.
Yeah,
straight up.
Well, yeah, you can always find someone who's going to tell you what you want to hear. Yeah.
So my thing is that Joe Rogan didn't go down to Tractor Supply Company and get horse ivermectin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Joe Rogan went to his doctor and was prescribed the human version, which means that doctor thought that medication was a proven medicine to use in the treatment of COVID. Rogan is not vaccinated. That is his personal choice.
It is. Yeah. And he's allowed to be not vaccinated. He just needs to stay the fuck away from me. That's all I can say. I don't care. Be unvaccinated, but don't come near me. That's all I'll tell people. If you're not vaccinated and you fucking get me sick, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's simple. I don't care. If I find out, we're going to go to war, because I don't think a person's rights trump me being safe from them. Yeah. Now Joe Rogan has made that decision, and that's his decision. But
right. And as long as when he's out, he's masked and, socially distanced, I don't know what, or whatever he needs to do.
Because like this, this variant of it, like the Omicron one, it's like you can get it if you're vaccinated. Like literally every teacher on my floor got it in the month of December and like the beginning of January. Like Nick, I talked to you about this, and it's like everybody was vaxxed and boosted. I'm not boosted, and I was the only person that literally didn't get it.
I still got to get my booster. I was sick of all things. I just want to
touch on this point that Burgess made real quick. He says, I don't think that's true, guys. That's why there's a medical board and they regulate what can be used as medical advice, or you can be sued for malpractice. That's right. But what I'm saying is that Joe Rogan went to his doctor, who is, licensed by the medical board, and that doctor prescribed him ivermectin.
Yeah, and so
that doctor is not under any review. So Rogan said that he had IVs of vitamins, fluids. He took ivermectin and something else.
Yeah. So there is that wiggle room without, because what Eric said, I mean, that's absolutely true. And I'm sure if Joe Rogan's doctor was like, you just need to hold these crystals and sit facing west during the sunset, then that would be considered malpractice. But I think if he's giving them what a lot of people think to be a viable treatment, which with COVID, still is a little bit of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think
exactly, Burgess. Exactly. That is the point. Yeah. But that doctor is licensed and still has that right to treat people as seen until his license is taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they basically
and then it's like if that would have happened, and I don't think I don't know, man. I don't think that doctor's a wild card. I think like the other thing that people aren't taking into account is that this dude is a fitness fucking freak. Yeah.
Okay. So and a lot of
for surviving COVID or not is like your just general health.
It is personal fitness. It really is. So like him telling a young person, well, if I was you, I wouldn't get vaccinated, is from what he understands. If you're asking Joe Rogan for advice and he gives you advice, and you are responsible for taking that advice or not.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that should be left to you. I think I'm just kind of allergic to the idea of somebody up there saying, you know what, you're not smart enough to decide for yourself, so we're just gonna quiet this person or this idea. take Alex Jones. You know why we all know he's a fucking maniac and an insane person? Because we got to listen to him for how many years?
Yeah.
Right? If you never got to listen to him or hear his ideas, you wouldn't know he's a fucking kook. And it's like the more Alex Jones gets to talk, the more crazy he appears to normal thinking people. And if you have the type of person that says, okay, hey, this Alex Jones guy, he's starting to make sense. I don't think it's Alex Jones that made that person a knucklehead. Yeah, they already were, and they just needed.
They were looking for someone out there that gave voice to their own kooky fucking
ridiculous
thoughts.
Ideas. And without Alex Jones, they would have found it elsewhere. I promise you. They would have found it elsewhere.
Natural selection will fix this whole thing. If you do not follow proper medical advice,
for Joe Rogan to tell someone who's young and healthy to not get vaccinated, like I don't think that's a problem. Statistically, no, I don't either. Statistically speaking, if you get COVID and you're in your 20s or early 30s and you're healthy, you're probably going to be okay. Now, can you infect other people around you? Sure, like
that's the problem.
But now with the vaccination, I can infect anybody, even if being vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. Go ahead, Russ, and then I just want to.
I was like, even if you're vaccinated, though, you can still get it. So and you can still spread it around.
The vaccination isn't this vaccination is to basically temp down, mitigate the fucking effects, the symptoms of the disease.
It's supposed to give your body a better chance of fighting it off.
And it's proven to do that. Even with this new variant, which even if you're unvaccinated, it doesn't go to the lungs. Basically, it stays in your nose and throat, which is a good thing. Which is how viruses work, because if you don't kill the host, you can spread your virus further. It's an evolutionary thing. So if you know anything about evolution, you can understand how any virus would work in this way.
But I agree with what you guys said earlier. If you listen to Joe Rogan and you want to take medical advice from Joe Rogan, be my guest. That's your thing.
Yeah,
you have that freedom. But me, I look at Joe Rogan as just a knucklehead who doesn't know shit about
Russ, he says that all the time. He says that all the time.
And just real quick, Burgess, that's what we said. The vaccine is to mitigate your sickness.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands.
One real quick thing, like Russ, like Joe Rogan says that all the time. I'm not a medical expert. Don't listen.
Don't listen to me.
That's good. He says that because so if he says that to me, there's no fight. If he says it himself, then that's it. So why are people worried about it? If dumbasses are gonna look, we just got rid of a president who had for 4 years we had dumbasses listening to. Now, I don't want to get too political on here, but I'm just gonna say
hold on. I just want to say something. We said that we're gonna say whatever the fuck we want on this show.
That's true. So, I got it.
We're all beholden to Nick Brammer, and that's it.
I would say all I'm gonna say is people. There are a lot of people out there who are so lost. They're just looking for someone to give them some answers. That's all I think.
The problem is, Russ, we live right now, and I think it is probably because of social media and podcasts and all this different in YouTube.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like we had 3 TVs in my house. We're all on today on different YouTube channels between me, the boys, and Jackie.
That's
so
awesome.
It's kind of like we live in the fucking Tower of Babel. It's just so much noise, and
great.
There's 3 people in this house, and all 3 of us are currently on different forms of media.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And if you have Brink, here we go.
Depends on the mutation.
Yes,
because Omicron said go fuck yourself, COVID vaccine.
This is absolutely true. Vaccines help restrict the transmission and mutations too. Absolutely. The problem that we're having is that not enough people are getting vaccinated.
That's the problem.
But then disease is allowed to mutate faster.
Yeah, but then like this, yeah, because like we would if everybody theoretically would have got vaccinated in the summer of 2021, we wouldn't have had Omicron. But then because of Omicron, you actually are getting that herd immunity more safely because it isn't as aggressive of a variant, and more people are vaccinated, so they aren't getting as sick. But like my thing with COVID is like I had a way I thought about COVID in March of 2020,
right?
and then whenever vaccines were out and ready to and like everybody could get one by the summer of 2021, I thought differently about COVID. And to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to kind of live my life normally, right? But then,
just real quick, I think excuse me, Burgess, I think like what I'm seeing is like the delay of your comments with like the delay of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we're agreeing on a lot of the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But then ahead. Like post Omicron, I think about COVID differently again. Whereas like my sister-in-law, she's still stuck in May of 2020. She's wearing her mask outside. You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you doing? Like, it isn't, it's not the same. I don't know. It's not the same anymore. And
I see people wearing their masks in their cars.
Okay. We got some things in the chat that I'd love to go ahead and address.
Yeah,
oops,
for sure.
Sorry, wrong one. Here we go. E first. So how can you not see the danger of someone like Rogan telling young people not to get the vaccination? The thing that I'm saying is that you can say that it's dangerous, but that's like you're giving. I think that you're giving him more credit for his influence than he has.
Me too.
Because that's like me. I have this show, okay, and I'm telling you not to get vaccinated, and you listen to me. I mean, my wife always says, "Play stupid games, get stupid prizes." You know what I mean?
Kind of
like if you're listening to someone else besides your medical professional for medical advice that is on a media platform,
you got bigger problems than coronavirus.
Oh yeah, of a dude again like Rogan who says all the time, "Don't listen to me. I'm not a medical expert." You know?
Right.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, he's the largest podcast in the world. Like, I'm not conceding that, but I do think that you have to you can't treat like the populace like children who have to be kind of like cold into making right. People are going to make their individual decisions, man. And it's like, and I know this is kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's like a conservative thing, but like personal responsibility, like that has to be somewhere. Like it's nobody, if the cops came to my house and said, you can only have, one alcoholic beverage a night because you're killing yourself, you know what I mean?
You would be fucked, first of all. Yeah.
And like, this is gonna kill me faster than COVID is, like, so.
And so Brink says, so that means Rogan's influence on people not getting shots is irresponsible. I don't see.
I think he might have been. I think he was responding, or I think he might have been responding to someone else in the chat. But I think Rogan's not preaching this stuff. I think he is inviting people on to speak on this stuff and asking them questions that he's curious about.
Yeah, I give you that, but
I will say, why have
people,
guests if you're just going to preach to the
right? Well, yeah, people like Rogan though are also, they like to rock the boat. Let's be honest here. How do you think his look? We're talking about him right now.
I don't even think he views himself in that way. I think he's.
I don't know, man. I think he definitely does.
I think he has people on that he disagrees. He's not that even that provocative,
guys.
Man.
He gets paid to do that show.
But like,
by
I don't
how
know.
many people?
I think like he doesn't like say anything crazy.
He doesn't
crazy
say
like
anything
provocative.
That he wouldn't
provocative.
Say.
No,
he doesn't. Is what I should say.
But it's not like Alex Jones being paid to.
No. I'm not saying that. No, please, God, I hope they have. If he was like Alex Jones, my God, I wouldn't know what to do with it. It'd be terrible.
Well, let me finish this point because I think it's going to answer what you're saying. It's like Alex Jones was paid by people advertising on his network to tell him to say certain things. Yeah, what you're talking about is if Rogan says something controversial and more people listen and he keeps doubling down on it. Is that what you're saying?
I feel like he's getting publicity.
You feel like he's chasing viewers?
I don't know if he's chasing viewers or if he's just kind of doing it because he knows they're going to come to him. I don't know if he's got to chase them. Because he knows they're going to come. Yeah, because people will come. From listening to him, will watch his show for the controversy.
I think from listening to him, as long as I have, I would just have to disagree. Like, because I feel like he doesn't say like bombastic bullshit. Like he really.
But his actions, but his actions though would go against what you think, because his actions are that of someone. Actions, though? Well, I mean, he has people come on the show that are going to say things that go against what the scientific world says,
but then he also has people on there that agree with everything. He had Josh Zepps on his fucking show,
and that's great, like, and that's good. But then you're getting the other side because there are people that don't agree with the scientific world on COVID right now. Yeah, so he's getting right too. So he's basically playing both sides. So here,
but that's the thing. If you don't, that's what I was talking about when I was talking about reading those books. Yeah. Is getting viewpoints from people that disagree with you. Like, have you ever read Mein Kampf?
No, it's great. No, I understand what you're saying. You have to,
you know what I mean?
Points on the other side.
Because I mean, you read those things to understand what the people you disagree with are thinking.
Yeah, you want to in order to see their side. Or try to see their side, or even convince them. Try to help you convince them of your. But what I'm saying is, I think
Brick has this point too.
All right, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And
the funny thing is that Rogan is probably vaxxed, but he says he isn't to get more likes and shares. People gravitate to the drama.
I would not doubt.
I honestly don't think he is because he was one of the people that advised Aaron Rodgers on what Aaron Rodgers was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there you go. There you go. Like Aaron Rodgers went and followed what Joe Rogan said and fucked up his whole year.
Yeah, look what happened to him.
You might be right. I'm just saying.
But then that's tough because then like you're arguing like a hypothetical. Maybe there's no way to prove it.
True.
You're never gonna know.
True. There is no way. But there's no way to prove
he isn't.
Right, but there's no way to prove he is or he isn't. It's his business, right? But all I'm saying is I think there's more to this than just Joe Rogan being, oh shucks, guys, you shouldn't listen to anything I say, but don't get the vaccine. I think there's more to it than that. I think he's trying to be controversial without looking like he's trying to be controversial. He's doing it. He's amazing.
I don't know, man. I think
he's playing. I think
that you're attributing a motive that he doesn't have.
Possibly,
because since the beginning of his show, he's always had people on that he agrees with and people that he disagrees with.
Yeah, he had Alex Jones on his show,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, that's a good way of doing it. But what I'm saying is, this COVID thing is a very hot topic, and there's a lot of people out there, and Rogan's one of them, who knows how to play a hot topic. Burgess. To make to I guess make himself better, improve himself. I mean, the guy's a promoter.
I think if that was all he talked about, that would be a claim, right? But it's not like he still talks like he has comedians on talking about what they're. I don't know.
He has not to talk about it all the time. All he has to do is talk about it a few times, and bam, it's done. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, his viewership has gone up, not down. It's gone up massively, probably since.
But it's always been going up, and it's been growing exponentially.
Right, but it's probably blazing up now. I mean, I would like to see the rate of it.
To look at. Maybe we can revisit that statistic.
I'd like to see if it's possible.
Like since May or since March 2020, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like see where it's gone. But then I think a lot of it too has to be like people's kind of disinterest in like more mainstream like cable news type stuff that just panders to one side or the other, and I don't know. I'm more interested in your discourse. Like even if I disagree
think the Rogan show isn't something that we have as much in this country as they do in Europe. You know what I mean? think that Joe
Oh,
Rogan.
shit, dude. I mean,
Huh?
it depends on the country because, like,
I guess,
in
I
Europe, you
Well,
could literally, like,
you know what
go
I mean?
to
Like,
jail for saying some of this stuff. Like,
yeah, but like if you want to know news about America, you don't watch American news.
yeah, you watch,
You
like,
watch the BBC.
It's just true because yeah, you're right. Because if you watch American news, you're just gonna get what they want you.
Yeah. And
True.
then if you
Good
do
point.
watch American news, you have to watch like 3 or 4 different sources to be able to figure out like your own opinion on what's actually
Yeah.
happening.
Look,
Mhm.
I see what you're saying, and I actually think. Look, I've never watched this show. I may have to do it sometime. Now you guys have got me
Yeah,
curious.
dude, just
Maybe I'll go
pick
check
a
them
random
out.
episode,
Yeah.
give it a
But-
listen, man. Like, he's not like a
Because-
clownish, like, preacher type
Well,
person. Like,
I respect somebody who can be in between. Like I respect people that can walk the line and respect both opinions. I think that's cool. I try to be that way. It's hard to be that way, but and if he's able to do that and he allows both sides to have their say and have their
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool. That's awesome. But with COVID, doing that is going to get you a lot of heat, man, because
yeah, for sure.
And
one
like-
side believes they're right and one side believes they're right.
Mhm.
And we don't know which one.
And
Well,
dude,
most
Russ,
of
I'll
us
say
know which one it is.
between March 2020 to now, I've been like this on the sides, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, depending on the day, depending on the event, you know.
A lot
And
of
it's like,
probably have been. You know, I mean, we're trying to. We're all lost in this. That's what it is. Nobody knows. You know, I mean,
And
one
it's
minute
like,
you got the CDC
whatever
telling you to
I
do one
do,
thing, next minute they're
like-
telling you the opposite.
yeah, and it's like whatever I do is on me, right? And it's like I'm the one, like I'm considering my family in every decision I make, whatever. Like,
That's a good point, E. I do agree that controversy does. Yes, it does. And now I don't know that that's Rogan's legitimate.
Right, like
Yeah.
I don't know that it's
there's a
that's
difference.
my
There's
guess.
a difference in doing what you do and controversy finds you as in courting it.
Yeah,
because he
Good point,
doesn't
good
like
point.
he doesn't like engage with these people really. Like, people are constantly like on Twitter, like
And
calling
CNN
him
has been
this-
trying to fucking
Yeah.
dog him now ever
like
since he
calling
had
this, that, and the third.
Dr. Gupta on.
Yeah, and like call him like whatever,
course,
and
of
he
course.
just doesn't pay attention to it. I don't think, and he
You
just
know,
kind of
well,
like
Well,
has these
when
people
when they
on. And,
when they say something that isn't factual, he hits back.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Like
he's
he'll
gotta
just
do
do a
it.
Then
quick
it's like,
post, he'll
what?
do like a quick post on his Instagram, say, "Oh, really? This is what you're doing," and usually
Mm-hmm.
like crack on him while he's doing it.
And it's like, what other, like, are you gonna be able to turn on something on MSNBC or CNN or Fox News where the host of the show says, "Oh shit, I was wrong about this," in real time? Fuck no.
Seriously, I
Absolutely
know
not.
Think about this. In this country, probably
fact,
the
no.
most progressive news network is the Young Turks. I think
Yeah, for sure. They're
for sure. And they're going after Rogan after Rogan platformed them when
Yeah.
they were first starting out. Like I
Mhm.
never heard of Anna Kasparian before she was on
Yeah.
Rogan. I never heard of Cenk Uygur before he was on Rogan, and now these
Well,
people just like
I knew of him. I knew of him because he ran for office back in the day. He ran for, I think, a Senate seat, and he was I don't know.
Senate
I'd seen him.
US
I'd
Senate?
seen him. I think it was a state Senate. I think it was.
To the chest,
I'd seen
dude?
him. Yeah, he did. I think he ran for a public office. That's the only way I knew him. But I didn't. I discovered the Young Turks pretty recently. So
Mhm.
and actually, and sometimes I think they're a bunch of blowhards anyway too myself. So
For sure.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
it's
I
like
don't
they do it in their own way. And
Exactly.
it sucks because it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like what you I like
agree.
people feel like they have to do. They have to blow hard to be heard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree, but look, it comes down to this: we are living in America, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, like it or not.
Sure.
We all are. We all are entitled to our opinion. I can disagree with you. You can disagree with me. You're fucking the Giants suck. I'm sorry, they do. They're
I
terrible.
disagree
They're a
with
terrible
everything
organization.
he says, you know?
I can. You can disagree with me, and you're probably right to disagree with me. And you can say the Eagles stink. Actually, I might agree with you. But, but I'm just saying, everyone's entitled to their own opinion on things, and that's what it comes down to. You know, it sounds to me like he's trying to give both opinions a voice or a place to voice their opinion.
And it's COVID. COVID's funny because like I feel like before that, like you really could say like you know, like you can do whatever you want to do as an individual, but then COVID kind of became a thing where I think mostly at the beginning. I think now it is different, and I will discuss this with anyone if you want to hit me up. But like now, like your decisions to, you know, go out and be at bars and stuff, and it's like that maybe does affect other people if you're passing things on, but then you got to consider the other people that are also willingly at that bar. So I don't know, dude. It's just I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, man.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Right. I think we killed this one.
Hey, that's a good conversation.
Right.
Though. And I'd love to like hear back from people, man. Like we can address it next week, and
like if we get feedback about something, we'll definitely revisit it. If you feel strongly enough about it, we'll have you on and talk with you about it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll hit up Joe Rogan, see if he wants to come on next week.
Yeah, man.
That would
fucking
be
hit it up.
Crazy as shit. Can you imagine if he said,
Wouldn't that be funny? Like we'll go from like 11 viewers to like 1.2 million, then like back to 9 the next week.
I'd be like, hey, dude, I liked UFC back in the day.
Dude, I don't know, man. I think my tongue would be out the whole time. I'd be like, I love you.
Yeah,
because I'm a fan of his comedy. I love his podcast.
Me too,
I love
man,
his commentary.
He knows a shit ton about fighting. I'd be like, what is the UFC doing right now?
Yeah. What is wrong with them?
He's really funny because I like when he rips on him because it makes me laugh because I'm like, God damn, dude, he tears that shit up.
Now, did we want to go ahead? What one did we want to hit next?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It was whatever y'all want to hit on next. I was gonna.
We got. Let's see. Let me roll up. We had the Moss discussion. We had. Did we touch on Moxley already?
No,
I don't think we touched on the whole Moxley.
So we have that, and we have the Moss discussion.
Yeah, do that Moxley thing real quick.
Yeah, do that Moxley.
Okay, cool.
That's kind of hot right there. I like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good talk.
Yeah. Let me pull up the quote exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want to misquote anybody. Although, you know.
Yeah. The pay-per-view is over. Just to update everybody. Oh, yeah. I guess the men's Royal Rumble went off earlier in the night or something. Because
I guess.
Yeah. Let's see here. I saw Lesnar beat Lesnar got beat. There was a ref bump. Okay, here we go.
Anna sent me a message and said it was bullshit. It was a bullshit match.
Yeah.
She was like, what a bullshit match. And she's upstairs watching it in the room, laying in bed. She said that the Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar match was bullshit. So I was like, oh. I guess I'm gonna watch it later on. So I don't even who won the men's Royal Rumble then?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't even know. That's fucking weird. I didn't even hear who won it yet.
Yeah. I can't even find what Bully Ray said. I think they scrubbed him. I can only find like reactions. Real bad take.
Maybe.
Yo. Yeah. Okay.
Here's
what Bully said. Here's exactly what they said. I did enjoy that they started off with Moxley. They came out with a bang. People were ready for it, and Moxley said what he needed to say. However, I would have liked to have heard just a little bit of accountability from John. I understand the whole demons thing, and we always use the word demons as a creative word to get around the real issue. Whether it's an alcohol issue, whether it's a drug issue. He made a joke about Dreamer saying it's an eating issue. Everybody has some kind of demons they have to get around. We have our demons. These demons got the best of John for a time period where he had to step away from AEW. I would have liked to have heard him say a bit of an apology to the AEW fans. You don't have to apologize to the boys, even though the boys do count on you, but any one of those guys and gals could have the same problems that you did. And trust me, I came up in an era where a slew of men and women had their demons. I don't think that Moxley owes the fans an apology whatsoever.
Nope. He identified.
What am I going to apologize for?
I don't understand. He identified a problem that he has. Mm-hmm. He took proper precautions. He went and said, "I need to get help with this," and he went and got help. If more people did what this guy did, the world would be a better place. It's hard.
I guess the Rumble's still going. Sorry, it was just that match. It was over because they're doing Edge and Beth Phoenix now.
Oh, okay. It was against. Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like Moxley should be being celebrated for his courage in getting a problem that he had dealt with. He had a wife with a young kid. You know, his wife Renee gave birth, like 8 months ago, maybe? He's got an infant. Yeah.
Right.
You know, and he went and got his shit taken care of.
Yeah. Tell me if that isn't
good
cool.
on him, man.
Yeah.
He says, hey, I recognize that I have the life situation is not about just me. It's not about my wife anymore. Now there's a new life.
What do they want him to apologize for?
I don't get it.
They want him. I guess Bully Ray wants him to apologize to the fans for having to step away from AEW.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
That's basically what he's saying.
I feel like the fans would be like, "Bro, we get it."
Yeah,
I think so too. I think this is another typical Bully Ray.
Bully Ray just saying, okay, yes. Bully Ray, I think, is one of those dudes that does what you said Rogan does, is just say controversial shit to say controversial shit.
He actually does that.
Yeah, he sticks at the wall.
Let me guess, was it on Busted Open when he said it? Yeah, of course it was. That's pretty much his show.
And he's the least entertaining part of Busted Open.
Yeah, I know. He's a little annoying.
LaGreca's funny because he's such like a swarmy shit. You know what I mean?
I like the
yeah, I like he plays like the like little shitty heel on the show. Yeah,
I like when Mark Henry.
Mark Henry has good. A breadth of knowledge on that show that I wish he got to like fucking talk about more.
I wish he was on more actually than he usually is.
And then Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer's awesome. I love Tommy.
Tommy Dreamer's great too. I feel like Bully Ray is the one who just likes to open his mouth and say stupid shit, and and that's what it is. And there you go. He's. Again, he's another. You're right. He is a guy who does it for attention. I totally believe that. He's, and he'll get it. Maybe he might not get.
And I also think he's going through a very hard time in his personal life right now, having lost his longtime fiance and him having broken up, and
so he's angry and bitter.
The public how would you say divide between the Dudley boys. Because with Devon saying that basically Bully was a pain in the ass to work with for WWE, and that he cost Devon money.
Yep.
So I think that Bully might be going through some personal shit that he might have to work on before he tries to talk about somebody else's issues.
Very good point. And I think he's an angry, spiteful little fucker, big fucker.
Yeah.
He's kind of a big guy, but but I don't know. I don't know. He's a pro wrestler whose career is at the end for the in ring careers, kind of at the end. His relevancy is trying to stay relevant. That's the kind of thing people like him do. They start trying to rip on people that are relevant right now, and that's
it's the retired wrestler playbook.
That's exactly what it is. And Booker
get yourself over by it
too.
Yeah,
Booker only not as
a few times.
Yeah, definitely done a few times. Maybe he wouldn't have attacked it like like Bully Ray just did.
Yeah.
But he's definitely Booker T's definitely done it a few times himself. So it happened. You know, these guys have these shows they do, and these shows are an income, a revenue stream for them. They're an income maker, so they want to keep that show hot and keep it.
And that's the thing. They come from an entertainment background where they're trained to say that's what they're trained to do. They are trained to seek that heat.
They're always cutting a promo, man.
Yep, always cutting a promo.
Absolutely.
And the most successful people live the gimmick.
Yeah. Kayfabe all the way, baby. Let's do it. You know, it's their life. It's all they know. You know, they're almost like carnival guys. You know, carnies are circus guys. It's all they know is that life. You know, the entertainment life. And I don't know. I have a hard time listening to a guy like him. You know, saying shit like that about somebody who I think. I mean, look, I'm gonna blow too much smoke up his ass, but let's be honest. That's a pretty eye-opening thing to recognize that you have a problem and say, okay, I have to take it upon myself to stop making money, put a hold on my work
while I have a baby.
And
I'm leaving my wife at home.
Exactly, leave my wife at home, and she is also, you know, she does a show herself, a podcast herself, and so I'm going to stop being a provider for a minute, put my life on hold, leave my wife and kid, and go do this because I got to better myself for them. You know, that's tough, and he did it. You know, so good for him. Hopefully it helps him, and hopefully, you know, I want to see him succeed because I like any motherfucker that voluntarily leaves the WWE. When they're desperately trying to re-sign you, and he goes, "Nope, I'm leaving." I love it. I dug it, dude. He's almost one of my heroes. I'm like, yeah, you told the big company, fuck off. I'm going somewhere else, dude. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like what you do. I'm gone. I was like, yeah.
Just a reminder, after the show tonight, we are going to have the meetup. Hosted by The Nerds Have Spoken.
I can't wait.
So that'll be the off-air portion.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna hang out and bullshit. It's gonna be good times.
He says that Sam was definitely a carny child, and I'm not sure I can disagree.
Oh, man, you'll never know.
Boy, he was born from the Wolf Boy. And
yes,
that was his dad.
Wolfman.
And his mom was that chick who could cut a limb off and grow it.
No, she was a bearded lady.
Oh, there you go. That works better with the bearded lady. Okay, we go.
Brink says kayfabe carnies, everything's a promo. We still talking about Rogan?
No. We moved the way, but you know, I know, same smell. Anyway.
Well, now that you mention it.
The other thing we can get into is Thomas Brady.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Thomas Brady, we'll say,
maybe retired. I don't know.
Was supposed to be retired today, guys, but apparently he hasn't announced anything. And
according
it was really
to
funny.
TB12's Twitter account.
Yeah, but TB12, which is isn't that his thing? That's his company, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Is TB12 his, or is it just something that somebody else?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, what is it like?
I think it's his
meal plan or something,
like his supplement company and stuff like that.
Well,
I believe.
I think so too. And they tweeted something.
Like how
they
to still
tweeted
have
something
hair
out.
at 40.
Yeah, and then you had Adam Schefner, who's usually a pretty reliable guy. I mean,
been getting less so recently.
Very much so. I agree with that. I feel like recently he's just been fucking up, man. He's reporting shit that is not happening. And it's like, look, if you report it as I think it's going to happen, that's one thing. When you're reporting it as the gospel, you better be right, dude. People are going to start not believing you.
Or at least say like rumors.
Yeah, something, man, you know.
Something.
And then the NFL news website apparently had this up as well. And I don't know if they've taken it down since, or if they've kind of made an addition to the story. I haven't looked, but
and it's like, what if he put something out and then was just like, you know what?
Yeah, fucked up.
Yeah, never mind. I love this shit too much.
what supposedly what is some people are saying is that Brady's going to make an announcement, but he doesn't want to do it right now because he doesn't want to take attention away from championship weekend, the Super Bowl. He wants to have these people to have their shine.
Wait till the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, some people might. Yeah, right. Yeah, because nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. That's a good.
Nobody gives a shit.
But
nobody gives a fuck.
But I would say this. Some people might say, "Well, yeah, right. Really think about." I would say this. I could see Tom Brady thinking about that kind of shit because that's the kind of guy he is. I think he would.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't. So right now, it's not a certainty yet that he is going to retire. But if he does retire. What can we say, right?
Is he the GOAT?
I think he is.
100%.
In my opinion, he is. 100%. I think he is. Some people are going to say no. I get it, but I don't know how you say no. But okay. I just don't think there's another player who has
longevity, man.
Longevity plus
longevity.
You might have
been the most.
You could have made the argument. You could have made the argument in the past. Oh, it was Belichick. The motherfucker went somewhere else and won without Belichick.
Yeah.
Belichick not winning without Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing?
He says, Tom is so considerate. Ask his wife how considerate he is. Like, that's his public persona. Like, I don't know much about Brady. Like, I grew up in New England, but I left like just as he was coming on.
Yeah, she was like saying he was grimy in this way or that. I was like, I don't fucking know, man.
Look, I'll tell you this about his wife.
Like, I don't know.
I think in the end, he's gonna do what he wants to do, and she likes the dick, so she'll be all right.
It might not be that. It might be the paycheck attached to it, you know.
Well, but she makes more money than he does.
All right, so like you guys say definitely the greatest.
To me, he's the GOAT.
Okay.
I just
didn't. So let me just throw the names at you then.
Okay.
Montana.
Yeah. I think Brady better. I think Brady is better than Montana.
Okay.
Yep.
Bradshaw.
That's tough for me because I feel like it's two different eras of football. Like I feel like Bradshaw played in an era of football where you didn't have to be. You could be a not as good a quarterback and get away with it.
Dude, hey Russ, it's like that. It's like that with like college wrestling too, where it's like guys before maybe like 1995.
Right.
Like you just look at them differently, even if they won like multiple titles. It's just hard to compare.
The reason why I say I would say yes, better than Bradshaw, and I'll tell you why too. And I'm not trying to get don't wrong. I'm not going to say boo-hoo for Brady. Brady's had some great players in his career that he's played with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I would say that other guys have had more than Brady, and I would say Brady made some of those guys that he played with better than they really were. Because here's my proof: when they went to other teams, most of the time they sucked. They weren't.
That's EE's argument about Manning is that he made the receivers that he had better around him. Like I understand E's point about that, and I can see it to a degree, but like the receivers that Brady made, and they go somewhere else, it's even more remarkable. Deion Branch and all the those
perfect
guys.
Example. Didn't that dude go to the Washington Redskins? Didn't the Washington Redskins sign Branch? And again, I thought was it not who was it? They signed somebody from the Patriots. I can't remember who it was. Yeah. And they gave him a big fat deal. And he completely
all the running backs from the Patriots, the same thing.
I think that Brady is a quarterback that makes players better. He'll take an average guy and make him good. He'll take a good player and make him great. You know, I mean, but now that's not to say he hasn't.
And the thing is like you can't argue with either about about Eli Manning either because the stats are there.
No, Eli's stats are there, but
the stats of the players around Eli that have left.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of times those guys stunk when they left New York, didn't they? So, right? So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
All right, I get it. All right,
It's comparable. It's a comparable situation.
It is, but I mean, we're not really comparing Tom Brady to Eli Manning, right? I mean,
no,
you're just talking about that Eli Manning probably made plays.
No, I'm just mentioning that one of our viewers has said the same thing about his quarterback, and that it makes sense.
I guess. I guess. I mean,
because it's two comparable situations.
It is, but I think Eli had more talent around him than Brady did a lot of time.
I think that's undeniable.
Through most of Eli's career,
I think definitely. Yeah, there's a few exceptions, like Gronk is
right. Gronk
freak.
And Randy Moss. You know,
Gronk, Randy Moss. Who was the running back from Cincinnati they had back in the day? Well, it was somebody. They had a running back who was a big deal in Cincinnati, and he came to the Patriots, and that was a big upgrade for Brady, and they won a Super Bowl.
Dillon?
Yeah, Corey Dillon, I think.
Corey Dillon, okay, that might have been Dillon. I mean, they had I know Willis McGahee back in the day. I know, but I would say that the Giants
Ben Watson
Ben Watson, Ben Watson, but is he?
Yes, we said that Eli had more talent around him, and yes, it's true.
We did. I think he had more talent around him than Tom Brady. You don't think so? He had running backs that were amazing. Who was that one motherfucker? I can't even remember the dude's name that couldn't even ever be tackled. He used to drive me crazy. God damn! Some of the running backs of Giants had crazy. I don't even remember.
His wide receivers are definitely a class above fucking New England's. His tight ends up until Gronkowski were too. Shockey was a way better tight end than Ben Watson was.
I think there were more gaps for New England.
Name one wide receiver going to the Hall of Famer that Brady did. Name one player going to the Hall of Fame on offense to play with Eli. The only players that are going to go into the Hall of Fame that played on offense with Tom Brady are people that were successful before they went to New England and Rob Gronkowski.
And Gronkowski, who was there, who made his career in New England.
Name one player going to the Hall of Fame on offense to play with Eli.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Because the Hall of Fame doesn't mean they weren't good players. Keep that in mind. What I'm saying is he had talented players, and they might have only been good for a few years. You got to be good for a career to get into the Hall of Fame. I'm saying Eli always had players that were good for a few years. That's all.
Here we go. There you go, Ralphie. Thank you.
Yes.
No, I think what set New England above everybody else was Brady. Brady is a great quarterback, and they had probably the best coach in the history of football. Now saying that it was all Belichick or all Brady has been disproven. Well, I'm saying the combination of the two
was unreal. Yeah, it was unreal. It was a
formula above the other teams.
Yeah.
I don't think that friend of the show Tiki Barber played with Brady, did he?
No, he
played with Eli.
I thought Tiki played with Eli.
Okay, yeah. So
I thought he was there.
He was already in the Hall of Fame to play with Eli.
I don't know. This is what I'm going to say though about that. Maybe. And offensively, you might not have any Hall of Famers that played with him. But defensively, you're probably going to have some Hall of Famers that played on those. And those Giants defenses,
those Giants defenses were crazy.
They were insane. They were won the Super Bowl, not Eli Manning. It wasn't Eli Manning that won the Super Bowl. It wasn't Eli Manning that got them to the Super Bowl. It was their defense. Their defense, because when Eli would fuck up and throw something, a stupid pass or something dumb, the defense was there to clean him up. That's what it was. So don't try to say that
stacking people and sucking his teeth after.
Yeah, there you go. There's your guy who played with Strahan. There you go, right there. Boom.
What's up? The Nerdvana Network is in here.
Sweet. That's
He
sweet,
said
dude.
Strahan is the only one. I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know. We got a guy that's playing in Tampa right now. We'll see if JPP. What happens with him?
JPP.
He played with the.
He
He played
says
on
you're
the teams
so
too.
fucking ignorant, Russ.
I'm so fucking. I'm so ignorant because you're a giant ass licker, motherfucker. So I'm that. I'm ignorant. I mean, let's be honest. Because I'm smart enough to say that Eli had more talent around him than Brady did. Brady had talent only a few seasons in his career ever. I mean, Moss. He really had Moss for one season. If you think about it, he had Moss for 1 year, one amazing year where he went undefeated. Oh, by the way, your Giants did beat him that year, didn't they? How do you think they pulled that off? They weren't talented. He had no offensive talent on the team, none at all. Fuck out of here, man. That's stupid
like
shit.
a lot of the players, if you look at like the Super Bowl MVPs of the New England one, I think they've all been Brady except for one was like Branch, right? Or something like that.
Branch.
But
I forgot about him.
Nerds are spoken now in here and says don't kink shame Russ. But like if you look like the Giants, like Eli wasn't the MVP of one of those Super Bowls, was he? It was Victor Cruz.
Shit, probably should have been. remember that commercial? Y'all see the commercial, right? Where there was,
but like that's what I'm saying. Like in the New England and the New York Giants and the New England Super Bowls are very similar. That like both Eli and Brady did well, but it was somebody else's performance that they
won it.
Yeah.
Look, Eli's most famous for the helmet catch, because he threw a fucking pass where a receiver had to catch it in between his hand and his helmet. Give me a break. You're trying to tell me that you're trying to even compare Eli? Get out of here, dude. Look, this is why, and like I said, the commercial that they do, I love it. When Eli's talking about the helmet catch and how still not as cool as the helmet catch, and Peyton says, "Yeah, I would have kind of threw it like in the numbers." Because Peyton, good quarterback. He'll still get in the Hall of Fame because his name's Manning, so it's okay. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying
Eli
is a bad quarterback because obviously
he won a couple Super Bowls.
I didn't say,
but like,
I wouldn't say he's bad either.
The years he won, he had more talent than Brady did. Definitely, Moss is definitely a Hall of Famer. But
right now,
Randy Moss had his best years before he went to New England.
Mm-hmm.
He had his best years in Minnesota.
And at any time when Eli played, did you ever consider him amongst the best quarterbacks in the league? Like maybe top 4, top 5? I never did.
Top 5, yeah.
I never considered him top 5.
The year he won a Super Bowl, definitely a top 5 quarterback.
See, I didn't. I just didn't. I'm trying to think of all the guys that were playing. Was he better than Rodgers? No. Was he better than Brady?
See, no. Like I would have to go. I would have to go back. I would have to go back and look at those years at who was playing.
Yeah, I would too. I think I just don't remember exactly who was all there. I don't.
Yeah, because people
was he better than Roethlisberger? I don't think he was better than Roethlisberger.
There's years he was better than Big Ben. Yes, definitely. Big Ben had a few rough years.
Not many though, man. His rough years came at the end of his career mostly. I don't know, man.
No, there was a couple around where he got injured. There was that one big injury, and then the next 2 years after that, he was pretty damn.
Was he better than? Here's the thing: was he better than Phillip Rivers? Who, by the way, got drafted, right? They swapped up. I mean, Phillip Rivers might have been the victim of just playing for an organization that was just shitty at getting talent around him at the right time. He had some talent around him, but it's like it never came together. It just never worked out. I don't know. It's tough, man. Did Eli, I'm wondering, did Eli luck out sometimes because he ended up with the New York Giants, who at the time were there was a time when the Giants were really good at getting talent.
But looking at Phillip Rivers and looking at Eli, if you put Phillip Rivers on those Giants teams, do you think that he would have done better than Eli?
And that's what I'm not sure of. I don't know.
Because I mean, Philip Rivers is kind of like Eli Light.
It's almost like, to me, they're almost the same guy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the Philip, but I mean, Philip Rivers definitely,
Number one for the men's
it,
rumble was fucking AJ. Number 2 is Shinsuke.
oh shit! Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's a good start. I don't know. Maybe I never considered him a top quarterback ever in his career, but maybe some people did. I get it. That could be me and being an Eagles fan, though. I have a natural hatred of Eli Manning, so it's okay.
Yeah, see, like, I don't have these personal hatreds towards any NFC team.
Yeah, you could probably speak on it better than me. I think that I have this disgust of the Giants, so it's okay. I mean, they're
and I love it. Ralphie's a Giants fan, and he says that they should have kept Rivers.
That's pretty funny.
Fuck yeah, Ralphie.
Well, I don't know, Ralphie. They did win 2 Super Bowls, but I mean, again, who do you give the credit to? Do you give that? You say in spite of Eli, they won those Super Bowls, or because of Eli? That's what you gotta, See, I say Brady. The Patriots won.
He didn't put him in a position to lose, and that's all you can really ask for from a quarterback.
I guess so. When it comes down to it, that's what you got to ask for a quarterback. So maybe he was a good custodian of the offense. There you go. He just was never a superstar, in my opinion. He just never was. If he was a superstar, it's because of his big brother. People expected him to be as good as his big brother. Oh, dopey ass never delivered. He never did. He was just the dopiest guy. You remember his interviews after games? He'd be like, "What you gonna do?" He used to crack me up, dude. I used to laugh so much. I'm like, he's the dumbest guy in the world. Oh man, I was like, he's gonna.
Yeah, like he had. Brink said that he had his best year in New England. Yes, 1 year. He had the 2007 season with 1,400 yards.
14,000 yards.
Sorry, 1,400 yards and
Ran to the
20
moon.
touchdowns. But he had 1,600 yards and 17 with the Vikings,
right.
And then 14 and 15 with the Vikings, and then 13 and 17 his rookie year with the Vikings. So that's what I'm saying. He established himself as a player before he was in New England. And yes, he had his best single season in New England. But
by the way,
he was considered like when he was playing, he was considered like the man when he was in Minnesota.
Oh, he absolutely was. He was. When he Raiders.
And see, like that's the thing. Nobody hears except for Russ is saying that Eli is a bad quarterback.
I didn't say he's a bad quarterback. I just said he's not great.
It keeps.
I just don't look at him as great as other. Like I never thought he was the best at any time in his career.
No, I will say I never thought he was the best in the league.
Never.
I thought he was top 5 at least.
And
like
see,
the 2 seasons he went to the Super Bowl.
And I don't. I guess
because I think didn't one of those years he went like Rodgers went out or some shit, or he beat Rodgers sometime. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the years, but there was something. Eli had some good years, man, where he was damn efficient. He was damn efficient, and he threw some balls.
You don't get the numbers that he has without having some good years. I agree with that. I'm not saying he wasn't a good quarterback. What I'm saying is. He was never. I'll separate it like this. I never considered him an elite.
Yeah, he beat Rodgers. There it was.
I never considered him an elite QB. I always considered him a good quarterback who was playing on a good team, who knew how to put a good O-line in front of him, who had a really good defense that was disturbingly good.
So you say he wasn't? You say he wasn't elite. What do you consider elite?
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Guys like Ben Roethlisberger, I consider an elite quarterback. I consider guys that I think could take a team on their back. And I never in a million years think I ever saw Eli put a team on his back. I watched Eli.
Hold on 1 second. Brink says, Nick, thanks for confirming that Brady had great talent to support him. Yes, one player. That's what I'm saying.
One player. 1 year.
Randy Moss and Corey Dillon.
And I would argue this.
Yeah.
Randy Moss's great numbers that year. You said the best year he had in his career
Yeah.
He had Tom Brady throwing him the football. He had the GOAT throwing him the football. Think about that for a minute. He never had a quarterback as talented as Tom Brady ever in his career.
He had Randall Cunningham throwing to him, and
who was
I think Warren Moon.
And I'm a huge Randall Cunningham fan. Nowhere near as good as Tom Brady. Never. He had Randall at the end of his career, by the way. He had Randall when Randall probably was at the end of his career. He had that one great year. Remember that really good season where Minnesota lost, and they scored all those points, right? And then that was it for Randall. Yeah. That was it. It was done. Randall had that one last surge of greatness, and then that was it. And it was awesome, but Randall was never as good as Tom Brady. Never. Yeah. Right? So he never had a QB as good as Tom Brady. Never. So, of course, Randy Moss's numbers went up, and away, which I'm saying is Tom Brady played.
Yeah. Like that's obvious. That's obvious. Like, and that just goes to the thing that Randy Moss is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, probably, and you can't say he's not top 5 of all time. And he had his best year with Brady going into it.
Yeah, if you took that season away from his career that he had with Tom Brady, he's still a Hall of Famer.
He's still a Hall of Famer.
He'd still be a top. Yeah, he'd still be one of the best receivers in the history of football. He'd still be one of those. I don't, so yeah, he had a great player with him. I give that one season, and he had Gronk, and he's had some, had what did you say, Corey Dillon, like back in the day? That was early Patriots, right? I mean,
yeah,
he had McGahee, McGahee kind of sort of at the end of McGahee's career. I mean, he's just never had that many offensive weapons that were truly elite weapons. I think Eli never really had elite weapons either. Let's be honest. But I think Eli had, by his skill, he had guys that were better than what Brady had in general. I just like Eli had some decent receivers. They were good. Were they Hall of Famers? No, but just because you're not a Hall of Famer doesn't mean you weren't good. There are a lot of good players that were great enough to make the Hall of Fame. Jesus, man. I mean, it's. Point is,
I didn't say he was the best receiver ever. I said he's definitely one of the best receivers ever. I think he's definitely in the top. Moss is definitely in the top 5 of receivers. I'd say I'd go Rice and Carter before him, though.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that too. I would agree with that.
All right, later, Ralphie. Just one for Rodgers.
Well, one for Rodgers. That's true, but Rodgers isn't done yet. Eli's done. Rodgers is still playing. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe he'll go somewhere and win another ring. Who knows?
I don't
know. I don't know, man. Look, it's always going to be a cloudy discussion because everyone's got their own agenda and everyone's got their own opinion, their own bias. I hate the Giants.
Very emotionally invested in it too.
Very much so.
We're already like 15 minutes past 11. So
I'm sorry.
We hit this...
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Oh, dude, no, not at all. So let's just hit this one. Let's hit this one last topic, and then everybody can get to the meetup.
Sounds good.
And sometimes just something that me and Jason and all of us have been talking about is while we're doing the podcast, sometimes Jason will run the meetups during the podcast so that you guys can even, be talking in a meetup, hangout, etc. while the show's going on so that, you can have that fucking interaction and stuff. It's just some things that we're trying that are new.
It's like some continuity.
And we're trying some things. But the last subject that we wanted to talk about is there's a very what now? What are you laughing at?
Brian, is it
Rodgers is a
pandemic? Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, go ahead.
But there's a very important graphic novel, the first graphic novel, in fact, to win the Pulitzer Prize, and it's called Moss by Art Spiegelman. It's a telling of a Holocaust story through the eyes of mice being the Jewish victims and the cats in the story being the Nazi perpetrators. Because of some of the language they said in the book, and also there is one panel of a naked woman. Moss has been banned from the Tennessee. There's a Tennessee county here. I actually closed the window, but I believe it was McGinn County in Tennessee has banned that graphic novel from their public schools.
Wow. Jesus.
Book banning is a slippery slope that nobody should want to have to climb on. You know,
Agreed.
It's if you're gonna ban that for that, then it kind of opens up like almost the floodgates of, you know, kind of pursing through everything else and seeing what else should be banned. Because we read the book Night in my classroom in 8th grade, and it's like a little, if you've never read it, I'd suggest, it's like I highly recommend. It's a great book, but it kind of counts. It's a, you know, narrative nonfiction kind of accounts of a kid's experience during the Holocaust, and it's awful to read, you know, and it makes you uncomfortable, and the language in it.
But you're supposed to be uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
That is the point. You know, if something like that doesn't make you uncomfortable, I don't know. I think that's the point of a book like Mouse, especially with it's ultimately almost 1-to-1 allegory, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it should make you uncomfortable. The language should be impactful. It should be stirring to you. And I think the point of why we read it in my classroom is to say there's almost like two schools of thought, whereas like one school of thought is like you should protect kids from the realities of the world or whatever, or you should expose them and learn how to navigate those things. And I think the latter path is the correct one, right?
Yeah.
But
I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was it.
All right. We said that we're gonna say what the fuck we want on this show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right. Banning Moss or Mouse, however it's pronounced, is really disturbing because of the pattern it creates in white supremacist bannings of books.
Yeah.
Moss isn't the first one.
No.
The Diary of Anne Frank has been banned in the South, in southern states. Huckleberry Finn is being banned
because
everywhere.
they use the N-word. Yeah.
Yeah, and me and E were talking about it tonight. Another one is because of the use of Injun Joe.
Yeah.
Just a real quick update while I'm talking about this. Johnny Knoxville is number 9 in the Royal Rumble, and he is now in.
That's awesome. But so Brink made a point in the chat that I was gonna make.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Good point, sir.
The principle of wanting to ban Mouse is the same principle of wanting to get Joe Rogan pulled off the air. You might you can't view this as, well, I agree with this person, so they should be able to speak, but I disagree with this person, so they should be censored. If you're a principled person, you have to just let it all fly, whether you agree with it or not, and you have to defend it when you disagree with it.
Let's see what you just said.
Nick,
very difficult for people to get to their head.
Nick,
you got it.
And Nick, are you familiar with the Turner Diaries?
Nat Turner?
No, it's like it's this basically it's like a book about like these like white people who like have like an armed revolution and take the country back from like the Jews in the you know what I mean, it's a white supremacist book, and it's like that's an example of a book that I disagree with every letter on every page of.
Yeah,
sure.
Right, but do I think that book should be banned? No, because I could read that book and say, here's what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Here's why these ideas are ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that book, and it's real quick, like in and of itself, is going to change anyone's mind.
Mm-hmm. Sami Zayn threw out Johnny.
Yeah.
But I also think that it goes to a
Look at Knoxville.
bigger issue in education, Sam, because
Mhm.
like they're telling you what you can and can't teach these children, and like they're banning Holocaust teaching the Holocaust. They're talking about alternate terms to slavery to use and all
Yeah,
this
man.
shit.
It's
And
ridiculous.
you can't do that shit, man. You
No, you
have to
can't.
let. I mean, you have to let competing ideas compete and
Mhm.
fucking come out.
You have to let like the ugliness of the world kind of show through, and like we'll watch speeches that like Hitler did and say
Mhm.
like, look at the terms he's using, look at how he demonizes the other. And there could be a really well-intentioned law that says we're going to ban all Nazi propaganda from public schools, and all the emotion behind that might be well-intentioned, but I could say as someone who teaches this, no, we need to look at some of that and see what they say and how does it line up with
What's going on today?
people in politics today who again demonize the other, and it's useful to be exposed to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And to ban it all just makes it seem like so taboo. I don't know.
when I used to talk to my son about World War II, my son, I remember when I never forget it, when my son came home from school and he had to write a report on the whole bombing of Pearl Harbor and everything, and he kept asking me, he kept saying, "I don't get it, Dad. Like how did this guy get people to like go along with what he what he wanted to do?" And he was talking about Hitler, of course, and I had to explain to him that I tried to listen. Hitler was a very, very, very good speaker. Like he could speak. He had a way of talking to where, and I told him, I said, there are a lot of people in this world that are great speakers, and they can get people to believe something that is completely bullshit. But they can do it. It can happen. That's it. He's one of
Especially
them.
where like Weimar Germany was at the time.
Yeah.
Inflation was insane.
Exactly.
The ending of World War I was the beginning of World War II.
Yeah, exactly.
With the Treaty of Versailles.
It was a setup completely.
Yeah, Brank is bringing up some really fire points in the chat. He says, "Makes me glad that I grew up in a place where my learning different views wasn't restricted." Absolutely,
and that's the thing. Like once you restrict one thing, you have to restrict everything, man.
Yeah.
And I think there's because it kind of comes up with that, like the debate over like teaching critical race theory, whereas some people want to ban it, and it's like, no, let it out there, and the bad ideas will get filtered out. They will, because if you have because some of the tenets of critical race theory are just kind of like on their, some things make sense, other things are kind of just like absurd when applied to a kindergartner, and like that type of stuff isn't going to just pass through like the filter of like the public discourse. So I think to let that stuff out is the way to filter it out. You filter it out. Banning things doesn't work, because when you ban one bad thing, you have to by principle ban one useful thing. And I think it's a bad policy. And it's like I said, like the same impulse that makes people want to ban that stuff is the same impulse that makes people want to ban Joe Rogan. And that's not what this I don't know.
And that's the thing. I don't want Alex Jones banned.
Me neither.
I want him out. I want him out.
The worst harm that Alex Jones can do is by speaking his ideas.
No, the worst harm that he can do is go away and have people pontificate on what he said rather than continue to spew his nonsense. So that people can just over the preponderance.
I read this. I read this article
today
that kind of talked about that, and they're like, when you kick these people off of like Facebook or Twitter, you push them to the fringes of like 8chan and Parler and stuff. Where if I have someone who says on my Facebook feed, if you're against critical race theory, you're against teaching about slavery, I can push back and say, well, no, that's not true because I learned about slavery in school and we didn't incorporate any of the ideas of critical race theory. They have to engage with me, right? But when you have some like nut job and you ban them from Facebook and then they go to these other places that tend to just be echo chambers and they don't have to actually engage with anyone who thinks differently from them, it kind of just like perverts their mind even more. You know, if they're like that Parler. Ideological. Yeah, Parler is a good example. For sure.
Yeah, it's you can miss an educational opportunity if you ban some of these things.
And even if it's not like Russ, like an educational thing, like it's just like a rebuttal. It's a disagreeing argument. It's and if it's well articulated, it's meaningful. You know,
that's a good point. I mean, I always look at some things like sometimes I'd like to look at what you think is wrong, and take a look at it, and really examine it and break it down. Why is it wrong? And just kind of figure it out. And sometimes you might find out that something isn't as wrong as you thought it was. Might still be wrong, but it can give you another. You can get wrapped up in the idea and say, okay,
yeah, for sure.
I always try to see. Yeah, I try to see both sides of stuff. Again, very hard to do. It's tough to do, and I have a hard time doing it myself. But
you got to engage with people that think differently from you, man.
I think you do. Otherwise, you won't learn. If you're just spitting out your own shit, you're never going to learn anything.
That's right. You're going to be stuck in your own echo chamber,
dude. And ideas fucking calcify, man. And it's like a debilitating thing, man.
If you don't challenge your own bullshit, nobody else will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most people surround themselves with friends that will tell them what they want.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And social media has made that so much more easy.
So much easier
to do. For sure. Because you block and unfollow.
Not even the block one. There's just unfollow or mute.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or people make those posts. Man, it's like just real quick. This is last point for me. People make those posts say, "If you disagree with me, unfollow me or unfriend me." Fuck that shit, man.
No, I'm not going to unfollow. If you disagree with me,
here's my phone number. Call me.
I'm not going to unfollow or unfriend you. Every time I see something you say that I disagree with, I'm going to challenge you. And when you get sick and tired of me challenging you because you don't change your idea. If we're going at it, you can block me.
Yeah, or we might just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, or we agree to disagree like adults.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing.
There's a novel idea. Anyway,
number 15 is Happy Corbin, and it's about 11:30. So we've gone half over what we said we were going to do, but I think it was a good show.
Night one.
And like something that I want to say before we go is I think everybody that was here tonight, everybody is going to listen later on, or watch later on whatever platform. Thank you guys. I mean, it's wonderful.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be back. And I'd like to have more people on too. Like, if we've said something that's pissed you off or you don't agree with and you want to come on and go at it and have a discussion, please fucking get in touch with one of us. There's multiple ways.
Except you, E. You're a giant fan. We don't have that.
I want that. I want that because he's big into NBA too. So.
And I love E. Come on, I love that dude. He's awesome.
With very, very few exceptions, there's not anybody that we don't want on.
Absolutely.
I'm just really bad about asking people, so that's what I'm saying.
It's tough, and I feel like people don't necessarily want to ask to be on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out one way or not. But thank everybody for being with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, man. It was a great first night. It was
awesome, dude. Had a good time.
So much fun.
Chat was bumping.
Jason Lowry threw out a link for the meetup. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out a way so it'll come out of my mouth and some term
The
for it.
after show.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what she
it's not an after show because the
It's not an
times it's
after
going to
show.
is going to be going on during the show,
Yeah.
so that people can hang out and
True.
talk there too.
But
Lowry's got that link out. I just want to say my byline, and I think we should go home. Peace, love, and hair grease. See you next week.
I knew he was gonna do that. That's great.
We out.
Oh.